Charger connected. Today, we celebrate the second anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile.
I can't believe it's been 2 years already.
I have absolutely always wanted to do this. Let's go! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Let's go, baby!
Hello? Clean up? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale Worlds Invitational. We're about to kick off day number 2 here in the PokerGO Studios on the Las Vegas Strip with the best duos in the world when it comes down for North America. I'll be your host, Blaze, joining you this fantastic evening. And we got some of the best in the business on the desk. And as you guys can see, hey, we got cleaned up once again with the beautiful cake there on your screen. If you guys joined us yesterday, we got a chance to kick off with the best duos in Europe with familiar Call of Duty Mobile faces and content creators out there. Just a lot of popular faces throughout the Call of Duty world. And today, we get a chance to do it with North America. Mommy, Shift, we had a good day yesterday. How you doing?
We had an excellent day, and today I'm feeling really good in the studio. A little bit chilly, but you know what? The gameplay is gonna make it absolutely hot in here. You know, yesterday, you said it already, Europe had such a dominating team. You already know it's gonna be Ferg, and so they literally said, let the bodies hit the floor. That is not going to be the case here for NA though. For sure, it's gonna be more competitive.
It really is gonna be. It's gonna be super competitive today. I'm actually kind of, I'm super excited actually, for today to kick off. Shift, what's been your favorite moment so far?
Yeah, I mean, it really was nonstop domination from start to finish for Ferg and Sono. 4 out of the 5 lobbies were wiped through. The only one that they didn't win was because they kind of forgot to rotate into the zone. So, I mean, I feel like that might be something we kind of see today just because the new map is in play. We'll talk more about that later. But outside of that, you've got a lot of top-tier Warzone players. So I think I agree with both of you that this is going to be a much tighter game when it comes down to where the standings are.
Ferg absolutely dominated yesterday, okay? He only got killed by Narcs, so shout out to Narcs if you're watching. Only person to kill Ferg in the lobby. But when it came down to the format in which our squads played yesterday, let's get you guys up to date because it's going to be slightly different as we head into today. But some things the same. We will be playing 5 rounds of Battle Royale. But today, instead of 20 teams, we're going to have 25 teams that's going to be that's going to be playing with content creators and pro players. We're going to have 40 points for first, trickling down all the way to 0 for last. We'll give you that breakdown in just a bit. And it's also going to be 5 points per kill. So you're going to have to make sure you are out there slaying and, you clean up the kills for the squad. But that's the format, folks. Where are our duos going to be playing? We're going back to Blackout, all right? A popular fan favorite out there, but why is it? Because Blackout, it has some of our most iconic Call of Duty maps mixed into one. Now, this version of Blackout is different than one that you guys have probably seen before in the past. Shift, Mommy, break it down for me.
Yeah, like we've been saying since yesterday, this map is absolutely crazy. Just because of the cover, you're not going to have a lot of that compared to Isolated, the map that we all are really familiar with in BR. But here, it's going to be having a hard time, especially with the cover. But not only that, there's a new thing too. The fact that you are going to be having a medic player in your team is going to be essential because that's the only way that you can actually go and gain your HP. So no more adrenalines, no more first aids. So a lot of these players are going to have a different strategy now.
And the thing about all of these famous places across the CODverse is those are your main POIs. You don't have things like Stadium and Downtown that encompass a third of the map. No, you've got just firing range. You've just got things like Raid as part of the estates. But on top of that, kind of replacing into the adrenaline, there are some things that we're going to be taking a look at as far as where the power spikes will lie in Blackout. Kinetic being one of the biggest ones because it gives you that large heal. It also helps you fill out your full armor slot with that extra 4th slot. So the importance of loadout drops. We'll also be talking a lot about the chip stations and the upgrade terminals that they're going to be throughout the map. Those are really, really important, and those extra objectives could lead towards a lot of extra fights.
All right now, folks, we got the format, and we also know the map that we're going to be playing on. But who's going to be playing? Well, here is our list of pro players and content creators that will be playing in today's tournament. And I'm pretty sure you guys see a lot of names on your screen in which you're familiar with. Mommy, who are some of the ones that stand out to you?
I mean, I can't even choose one because of how stacked this list is. You've got Kyle, you've got Yanrick. Those are your two main BR content creators that we have here. And last year, I know we already had a few months ago in the BR duo drop-in. You know that they're going to be absolutely crazy here because they weren't able to play last time. So a lot of Warzone players here, Shiv. I'm pretty sure you're more familiar with that.
Yeah, tons of top-tier Warzone players as well. It's not just, some people that sometimes get invites. We're looking at some of our top overall earners across Warzone. So, yeah, obviously very different, not only because it's a different map, but how good are they going to be with their fingers on phones and not on controllers or mouse and keyboard? So there is something to be known as far as, what will the skill gap look like because of that. But due to the fact we've got more centric BR players, I think it's going to lead to more competitive lobbies from start to finish.
Ooh, I hope you are right about that one because we saw the stomping yesterday, but I don't think it's going to happen today. So with that being said, let's hop into our predictions on who we think is going to take this tournament. And when I saw the team list, you guys, I was looking. I was like, man, we got so many savages in this tournament. Who's going to come out on top? Well, the team that stood out to me, I got to go with the Bobbies, all right? It's Bobby Squared, B Squared, however you want to name them. We got Bobby Plays and Bobby Pop. And when it comes down to it, I think those boys are going to pop off today, all right?
Absolutely. Like what you said, everyone here is really, really talented. I could literally just close my eyes, put my finger down, and that team will be really good as well. But for me, I am choosing the one that won the duo drop-in the last time 5 months ago. It's going to be Noah and Philly for mine.
Okay. So initially, I was looking through the list, and I stopped at Hawk's Nest at this. Because Hawk's Nest, I'm not going to lie, your gameplay's been looking good, but that stash needs to go. That is what make me change my mind. I'm going Little B and Envoy. Little B tweeted out yesterday that Envoy's nasty at COD Mobile, which doesn't super surprise me. I'll be interested to know if he's going to be playing with his headset backwards like he normally does. But, I'm looking forward to those guys really stepping up.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, Little B and Envoy, boy, that's a duo right there, all right? Now, it doesn't matter when you start playing Call of Duty Mobile, but hey, it's been kicking off since October 2019 when we launched internationally across all mobile devices. Then our 1-year anniversary with the release of Alcatraz, which was super fun. And then you go forward, January 2021, it was the Fight for Humanity event where we reset everything back to square one. And then September 2021, Call of Duty Mobile announces the release of Blackout. And we are here today. And folks at home, hey, if you guys ain't played Call of Duty Mobile, do two things. One, go to the description, make sure you download the game. And number two, make sure you follow the channel if you've been enjoying all the Call of Duty Mobile esports. Now, when it comes down to just Call of Duty Mobile as a whole, as we're here with our 2-year anniversary, it's always fitting to have the queen in the building who's been here since day number one. Mommy, what has been some of your favorite moments?
There have been a lot of moments spread out of the 2 years that we've been here, but honestly for me, it's stage 4 and stage 5 of the Masters going into the regionals this year. It is going to be the first MP tournament that we're going to be having today. And of course, BR, come on, we are going to be having the new map as well.
I'm going with as recently as yesterday being one of my favorite moments. Because I think when you look at the scheme of the history of COD, winning 4 to 5 lobbies is not easy to do. Because, the lobbies were not soft yesterday. There were some really good competitive players, but Ferg and Soho just made everyone look absolutely silly. So that's unbelievable.
It's not just winning any 4 out of 5 lobbies, okay? It's a check on the line, folks. It was $100,000 on the board yesterday, and they showed up to play. I told you we will show you guys a more detailed version of the format, and here you go. We got 40 points for first, but look at that total breakdown. You don't want to fall in 25th place to get 0 points. Now, Shift, you were talking yesterday, especially when it came down to first and second place, that's not just a difference of 10 points. That's going to be 20 because you got to get those kills.
Yeah, and look, we saw full squads fighting each other in that first and second position. So it really often was not just the 10 for the placement, but the extra 10 that you get because you killed both of your opponents. Now, the thing that we continue to kind of wonder about, and we maybe didn't get an actual depiction of it yesterday because Ferg and Sono just ran through everybody, but they were finding on average about 13, 14 kills. The next closest was like 7. So you times that by 5, that was where the wealth of their points were being earned. Will that still hold true today, or will the competition be a little bit more even to where the kills are going to be a little bit more level when we get to the top 3?
All right, we'll see. Now, what are they playing for? $100,000. Now, yesterday we had 20 teams in that tournament, so everybody walked away with some money. But today, 3 teams. They're walking away with nothing, mommy.
Oh, take a look at that cash money in that 1, 2, and 3. You want to place yourself in that top 3 to really get that. But you know what? The difference that we saw today compared to tomorrow, take a look at your right side, 23 up to the 25th spot. You're getting 0. You're going to be broke by the end of this tournament, but you're going to be leaving with a smile on your face, right?
A smile on your face, indeed. Now, folks, as you guys can see, we have the format. We know the map in which we're playing on. All right, we know the players in which are going to be playing in our tournament. And now the stage is set. And as we're about to kick off day number 2 of the Call of Duty Battle Royale Worlds Invitational, I'm super excited. You guys, I hope you're having a fantastic time at home. Round number 1 is about to be underway. So make sure you guys go hydrate, get your favorite snacks, strap yourself in, because it's about to be a roller coaster of a ride. I promise you that. So without further ado, Cassius, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Blaze. Okay, so again, if you did not tune in to any of the other regions or particularly to the show yesterday, the one thing that we very, very quickly learned was early kills were kind of hard to come by. Now, how much of that is a product of the fact that we were at 20 squads yesterday, 25 today? Well, we'll find out. The other thing we kind of saw was a lot of attention over through the middle of the map. Obviously, firing range, Rivertown, they were big POIs when it was back in Black Ops 4. It looks like largely that's going to probably hold true here in the Battle Royale for the mobile scene as well.
Yeah, most definitely. You got 8 POIs over here. It's kind of the same with you have with Isolated, but the difference with Isolated, they were actually kind of like lined up together. So the great thing about Blackout, they're a little bit more spread out, not really in a linear motion like we had the last time, but again, you're going to be seeing a lot of contention here in the middle of the map, firing range being one of them. This is honestly one of our favorite spots. And how about you? Like, I'm pretty sure you said that Rivertown is probably one of the most...
Rivertown or bust,
yeah,
baby.
Exactly. That's your favorite.
Didn't drop anywhere else. And just as well, while we're going through this, these team names and numbers will stay consistent from lobby to lobby. So as we start to learn which teams are listed with which numbers, you'll be able to kind of follow along as we routinely will take a look back over the top of the map. Speaking of the middle, though, you've got 3 teams landing immediately on firing range, 3 teams immediately landing over towards Rivertown. Obviously a hot POI, tons of loot to flow through, but you're putting yourself in a dangerous spot, and we're getting on with one of my picks today. Envoy is going to be playing with Little B. Also have Gemini in the mix. This is a huge fight, but Envoy up top, he's going to find a lot of damage. He's able to knock down 1. Not quite able to get anything else beyond that, at least as the time is currently holding, but for now it is just now 2 squads left remaining while the others are trying to revive.
This is so much action already in the first few seconds of the drop in, and this is what we didn't really get to see, the aggression, and this is what we really want here in the beginning, really starting things right. But taking a look at right now, we got Envoy already having 1. This is probably one of the best picks that we've seen here so far, doing a lot of engagement already with this LK, something that you don't really get to see that often, but a lot of the early game you would want to get as much as you want just to win all those gunfights, and right now you have 4 teams already going in here. You got 1 squad that I was rooting for over here. You see Philly and Noah going up against your pick.
Well, it looks like for now they're very happy just to kind of take their opposite corners. Envoy is going to be able to use this third-person perspective, which you kind of saw that flash across the format. The players are going to be playing in third person, so you'll be seeing a lot of hugging these corners, using cover to kind of stay concealed while you're waiting for information on your opponents. But yeah, it looks like Envoy, Little B, they did clean up that third team that was here completely, so they're happy with their 2 kills. And they very well may just back up, try to play the loot game, and just let Noah's team just stay alive in firing range for now.
It's going to be a slow game for both of these duos right now just because they know each other's presence. They're pretty much stacked already, too. We already see a bunch of mods already going into the side of Envoy. He has 1. Needs to fill out 2. So what's important here is to get the mods. What I actually saw yesterday, the reason why I think Ferg and Sonho actually won that, it's the mods that they use. It's usually the legendary mods that they really wanted to prioritize. And for all of the teams that are playing right now, you need to get that. Just because if you get that legendary mod, there you go. He already has one on one of his guns. So you have extra abilities to really just play off, not only with amazing gameplay, but extra abilities will always give you an advantage.
Yeah, and if you're new to the COD Mobile BR, you see that indicated in the very bottom middle with those little circles that happen to be there. So kind of keep an eye on that. Over to another team that very well could be a big presence here. We've got Hitman with Iceman Isaac, obviously very much so a big Warzone presence there. Bobby BS coming across the middle of the bridge over up top by Turbine will fall quickly. And that was actually enough for Hitman to recognize, wait a second, I have a lot of teams that very well could be around here. Tectonic's a part of this picture, but Hitman, does he actually finish that kill? Looks like he does. Camille's also in the part, though, looking for the trade. It looks like Hitman very well will drop. So it's down to a 1v1 between the other two duos in these squads right here around Turbine.
So many bodies already dropping on the floor, and it's going to be a 1v3 situation that's going to be so hard. He's going to be surrounded right now. It's Isaac all alone by himself with the MSMC in hand. Not really the best gun that you want to have, especially going into the farther ranges, but that's all that he can do for now. Maybe he just needs to chill out, play a little bit more passively. His teammate is going to be right there. He needs to go and pick up the dog tag. Big Bertha, there you go. That is what you want to get. If you're not going to be winning your gunfights, best believe you're just going to run them over.
That's actually so funny. Isaac, I won't say he's the most storied driver in Warzone. We've seen him in instances where he tries to force Berthas through tight spaces, and sometimes he just kind of gets stuck. That time, I don't know if he knew how to get into the reverse gear, but we'll see how things unfold as it looks like once more Camille's is the other part of this picture. Tectonic falling earlier. So for now, it looks like they will just kind of exist or coexist in some ways. Over back to what happened in firing range. You may have seen it pop up in the kill feed. Noah and Philly did finish off Little B and Envoy. So that elongated battle that was happening there off the drop finally finished. You kind of see it there in the kill feed off the delayed POV from Bobby Pov. So that's kind of what had happened there, and an opportunity to now reap the middle of this circle, which looks like where they're based off, they should be fine. Not a long way to go to get into the next zone.
Now, it makes me wonder who they actually were able to bring down over here. I'm not quite sure. We didn't get to see
Envoy
it, but oh, really? Oh, that is just unfortunate. We had high hopes for him, but you know what? It's okay. Noah, the reason why I actually was able to choose them for my pick, they won that duo drop, and I watched their gameplays, and they were absolutely just on point with every single rotation, but that is a different map. We are in Blackout right now, and that's why a lot of these teams, even though, yes, it's going to be the first game, they're just feeling each other out, so maybe it's not going to be the case for that second game. So, yeah, we're taking a look right now with the Bobbies squared. They're just going to be a little bit more passive, only having 0, and really just playing the positioning game really well.
And that's something that we kind of credited a lot of what Ferg and Sonho were doing in the late lobbies especially. Just getting themselves into a position to just work the late circles and then let the gunfights almost come to you in a way. I say that with hesitation because they were taking every gunfight they could possibly find, but that may not hold the case here. Over on the left-hand side, as we still are on board with Camille's, he has been able to bring Tectonic back, so there is a revival portion of this game. It's different, obviously, from Warzone. No gulag. You have to collect dog tags and then wait for the revival flight to come through. That's the countdown you see in the middle. But Jesse, on the other side of this bridge, here's that third-party perspective. Tectonic is also waiting for this. This is as the zone is closing, imminent fight about to come through, but you don't want to wait too long to take these. This zone won't hurt too much, but it will start chipping away at your health.
Absolutely, and there's a reason why you need to go and push in very early. Jesse is going to be going down. He's going to be in trouble. His teammate goes to be the only one left, but here you go. Tectonic goes in for the kill. AK-47 is an overpowered weapon that will definitely be so reliable. And now here we go. The chase is going to be going on. Resume is going to be in the very edge of the zone. I'm not quite sure why they're not going out for him, but you know what? They're just going in for the loot. Yeah, they just lost him.
In the kill feed there looked like there was a full kill by Monkey Grenade. Don't see a lot of that happening, but it was in there, so hey. I'm always good for a good estranged, unique elimination, that definitely being one of them. Band has also been popping off in the kill feed with a handful of kills. So, again, you're going to recognize a lot of these names, not just if you follow the mobile scene. Obviously, you've got a lot of the Tribe team represented here, if not just about everybody. And then the opposite front, tons of Warzone creators as well. So, no shortage of storylines for any of these players as we jump on board with Day and Bobby. Rotating in, just able to get through. They'll be on the slow side of the circle for the next one coming up in the next minute 10. But while this rotation was happening, Bobby will be fully eliminated. So it's just down the day to hold this position from now.
And now we're taking a look at what is going to happen in the zone now. Take a look at that. It's going to be right at the southwest at the edge. A lot of teams need to go and push in. Only a handful already. So whoever is going to be right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 duos right now that still need to go and push. And right now, a lot of teams still have to yet get a lot of these guns so far. But take a look at that. They already having amazing
got another one?
K9 unit being pursued right now, and that's going to be really big for them.
That's the second time I've seen Galadon with the Monkey Grenade kill. But
I don't think he was able to get the kill.
I was going to say, it showed up. That was weird.
I think he may have accidentally released the dogs.
That's fair.
Release the K9s.
But sitting outside Rivertown, they are going to be able to just walk on into the zone, no problem. Team nearby to contest them would be Sean and Ben, Sean J Gaming, working with their duo here. And again, this is all about the third-person perspective. I mean, it looks like Galadon is still trying to loot up a little bit. So they're not necessarily as comfortable maybe as you would expect. You kind of, again, talk about the modifiers. None on hand here. But the slow loot process has been allowed for them, just simply because it looks like they've been able to survive through that chaotic start around Rivertown. There were 3 squads who dropped here. Only them and another that are rotating in are the ones who still occupy this town.
Galadon having a very interesting choice in guns. The Holger 26, something you don't really get to see quite often here, but among the LMGs, that's probably one of the best things that you can do. But here we go. Timmy already taking those shots. Finally doesn't get one. Goes in for the takedown, but then gets traded out himself and finally becomes a dog tag. Only one more person can actually go and make the difference, and Band is going to be in a little bit of a pickle here with no armor whatsoever. 23 left on his HP, but then the AS Val is going to be able to actually go and save him just a little bit. Now that is a good presence of mind. He just went there, stopped shooting, and there you go, gets one. SKS doing such a great job at eliminating everyone. Goes in for the hill as well.
Joe brought back, not much consequence there. A couple of kills tallied up, no problem. And now it's down to what happens next with this circle, because for Band and Joe, obviously you need to get yourself back to full HP. That'd be nice. But you have to feel like Rivertown is likely not going to be in the next circle after this one. It's all centered just kind of between Asylum and Turbine, which would lead us to a lot of hills, a lot of terrain, but not a lot of buildings. And the last thing you want to be doing is trying to run across these bridges when there are a number of teams who are going to be waiting to try to gatekeep on the opposite side. So we'll see what happens with these rotations. Back over towards Galadon's position. It's actually B-Nates and Noobs who are in the mix, part of TBE right there. And they're in a pretty solid spot as well. Again, still in the zone, but eventually you feel like they will have to rotate.
There you go, K9 unit again deployed. That is going to be a really key information for this side right now. 25. This duo, it has been a little bit passive here so far, doing a lot of engagements, not having any kills to their name, but there's still one more. Here we go. Another team goes in their tribe. That's going to be very hard because Band is very known in the community to be very aggressive with them, but K9 unit doesn't really get a lot of that information. So I feel like he should have just waited to really just see someone before throwing that.
Well, there's not going to be a lot of time to wait here because also rotating in is Noah and Philly. They're on the north side of Rivertown at the moment. So Tribe with Band already in the picture, looking for Noobs. Psychosis will come through. Noobs, good use of that. Will bait out a handful of shots. Almost a little bit of his own bait and switch. Now he wants to go outside, make his way to the low ground. Band up top. He's not going to be able to do too much with the first player. A little bit of help will be there, though, so there's good for one knock. Second player down low is Noobs, and he might just have to run away from this fight. Again, there's no chance to revive from here on out, but Noobs still holding his position on the staircase. Grenades being cooked to be tossed upstairs, and that's actually going to be good.
Oh!
Joe's going to get knocked by that. Noobs will also be stolen away, and all of a sudden, Band says, wait a second, who else is still here?
They didn't know Team 25 is right there below them. But then it's a good thing. They pushed in inside. They're supposed to be the ones that actually were supposed to get in there and for the death. But you know what? It doesn't really matter for them. Band. Oh! Was able to kill Joe. Oh, there we go. That's why you need to use your grenades as well. But then Band is still going to be able to go there to get the dog tags. But then hopefully we see a duo push going in there. They just need to finish off Band.
Well, the thing is, you only have 40 seconds. You need to rotate. That's the other big key over here, is this is what we saw from yesterday. Ferg and Soho kind of struggled. They were kind of baiting around with elongated fights for so long that they forgot to rotate. And the zone will start to hit as we get into the third. You see Yanni is actually taking a bit of a swim. Seems to have been read very nicely. A couple of tap shots will finish off, and that's going to be 3 total kills now tallied up for Team 25, and they still know, of course, that Band is still nearby behind them.
And they're just waiting. The kills are actually just going into them. But then, like what you said, is right. They're so far away from the zone. They need to find a vehicle quick and just leave them alone. But then just like that, actually goes in there for the kill as well. So, you know what? Maybe it's going to be worth it for them to get those 3 kills already. That is absolutely just insane. Being in the right place at the right time, and now the zone is going to be closing in on them, but I think they're still going to be on the clear. Need to go in there very fast, though, and really just find a vehicle so they can push in inside the zone.
Over to Isaac and Hitman. High ground position just outside the circle, but they'll be able to walk in with this. But little do they know, they very well are going to be walking in to a team holding one of the few buildings that will be in this next circle. So now you got to go room to room, clear things out, make sure you're safe. And if you get caught maybe a touch too off guard, not going to happen here. Good flash will come out, but no, Agaba will actually be able to knock down Hitman. Just leaving these to Isaac, has to go to the reload. Going to be pressured from the left. Shots are good. Finds one with the Fennec. One more, of course, inside is Hitman. Or pardon me, that's Net who's back in the backside, and Isaac is good for the elimination. Good 1v2 from Iceman Isaac. He will be able to get the tags of his teammate, and in 30 seconds, we'll see him come back in.
Oh, finally we get to see Hitman see the light of day yet again. Isaac doing such a great job. And mind you, Hitman is the Call of Duty mobile player here, so Isaac is doing such a great job already. Aerith and Nat are going to be going down this early on. There's 12 duos left here out of 25. A very fast game. You're only in the third circle. 14 minutes only. But here we go. There's going to be a lot of engagement just like that. Bobby Squared is going to be right inside that complex, just getting that cover. That's going to be good. They need to just stay there and not engage.
11 total teams left here as we get into the fourth zone. Minute 20 on this before it will start to close once more. And again, there's nothing to hide behind out here, which is, I think, a lot of the reason that people who loved Blackout. You force gunfights almost all the time. So for Team 9 with Noah and Philly, they've got Hawks, Ness, and Viss over to their right, who... From what we can tell by the kill feed, they've been pretty quiet. And hold on a second. Again, the random name that you're seeing right there, that's Jokesta. He's been popping off so far. Able to find one more down, at least for now. Tectonic Camille's in the helicopter. Noah seems like he wants to throw some shots into that for the time being, but nothing will amount of it, and everything goes back to quiet.
And it's basically just a lot of dust settling from all of the action that we saw a while ago. Here we go. JHC Gaming takes down Hitman yet again. He just got back from the dead. Isaac already doing a lot of the heavy lifting here so far. And with the sniper, that's going to be very difficult to actually go and counter. You can see here he has that mod that's going to be very essential for him, the sniper recoil. It's going to release a lot of the swaying, but that's not going to be doing a lot of difference. But it's going to be very difficult because they have to push out of the zone already, and they're going to be hunted down. They're basically just trapped right now in a corner.
Going to go outside the zone, try to come back in. JHC is going to be watching this the entire way, but it looks like they will be able to get into a Bertha and then just ride their way into the next zone. What you see on the left-hand side of your screen will once again take away even more buildings. And how about it? Bolu just runs right on by, nearly runs over a couple, but instead decides just, well, okay, I gave it a go. Let's play my life here. Psychosis out, but this is the actual version of Sinistar right over the top middle. Noah, good shots, able to find a couple of tags, but the zone is really starting to hurt, and they've got a ways to go the entire time. Bobbert going to fall. Ducky able to tally a kill. It's a squad that I don't think anyone was looking at the initial of the day for us when it comes to predictions, but they've found a handful of kills so far, and this next rotation will take us from 11 teams likely down to maybe around our top 5.
And you can see the usage right now of all the vehicles. That's why it's so important to have a car, have a motorcycle, have that helicopter down just because of how open everything is. And there you go, finally goes in there for the takedown. And that's why you need to have a vehicle, especially in this final circle right now where there's absolutely just no cover. Team 25 on the other hand, Jokesta looking strong here so far. They're not going to be able to go in for the takedown, not going to be able to utilize that vehicle well, but it doesn't really matter. They're just looking for everybody to just ram.
We didn't see this at all in Europe yesterday. There were very little vehicles trying to do what exactly JHC is doing at the moment, but Tectonic will take a couple of shots at the car, and this is just the stall tactic. Stay alive as long as possible. Meanwhile, though, how about Noah finding himself 2 eliminations? That will tally a few. JHC saying, all right, enough nonsense. We need to get fully healthy. Next circle has been established, drawing right down to the south. Tectonic over the top has seen that this vehicle will stop, so now the nades will come out. It's a smoke to start. Now the spam shots. JHC going to fall and instantly be eliminated, and that will be enough for Tectonic to say, job done. Let's make sure we play for the next zone.
Now, that was their demise. They used the vehicle really great, but no, the car, the moment they went down, it just didn't happen for them. And sadly for him, Tectonic was just right there at the right time, throwing that smoke grenade, and that's the reason why he almost won duo drop in the last time. Only had that tie game against Noah. So this guy's presence of mind, there you go, gets rid of Noah with the AK-47. Fully stacked. Take a look at that. Epic mods all over the place, and that's what you really need to have, a really great mod set, especially going into the final circle.
Final 5 teams, 7 total players still alive. And one of our full duos here, Team 4, is doing a lot of the killing, at least as of yet. Jokester to the left-hand side. Vis not going to be able to take the fight, at least initially. That's going to be enough for Resume. Long-range shots actually steals it maybe away from Jokester. Tectonic's on the backside of this rotation, using smoke to follow up, and he very well may be in a position to actually get one for free. Sure does. Now back over towards his left as Camille's runs with him. Hawks is over in towards the bush. A couple of shots will tag, but it's only for armor. Top 3 situation, 4 total players left, and the only duo alive is Team 13, Camille's and Tectonics. Now the last 2. 2v1, and Hawks Nest is playing behind a barricade in the bottom of the zone.
That is the best thing you can have right now, is to have that shield just to provide that extra cover. And Hawksnest is doing a great job at playing passively, but Camille's absolutely knows where he is. There's no way he actually can go here away, but he was actually able to go and knock down already. Camille's going down, but then with the help right now of having another one, he does have to make a move. The fact that he knows the knockout has been progressing, he needs to go in there. And yes, he's positioning right himself with the ghillie suit.
Yeah,
really cheeky
he
gameplay.
was in the wrong position from the zone from before.
Absolutely, and that nade going in there, that is going to be absolutely great. Hawksnest is playing the waiting game. That is going to be very smart for him.
It's down to can he actually catch either of these 2 players through these smokes that are coming through, just crawling in with the zone. As an MX9 has to make use of it. He's getting tagged up in the zone so heavily, though. The smoke is making everything chaotic, and the spam shots to come through means Tectonic and Camille's will win round and map number 1. Chaos in the final moments, though. This is already different than what we had from yesterday, but we have at least one victor thus far. Tectonic and Camille's map 1 winners. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale Worlds Invitational. We have been celebrating the second anniversary of Call of Duty Mobile all weekend long, and we thought it would only be fitting to bake a cake as big as the occasion.
My goodness. I said it yesterday, and I meant it, boys and girls. If they show me too much of this cinematic of this cake, it's not lasting through the end of this show. This thing is unbelievably incredible.
Honestly, on top of that, it's the music for me. Okay, like it gets me ready to eat. You know, we've got a chance to see this video. We saw it yesterday. You know, you guys saw it in the pre-show. But the process of baking this beautiful cake up here, from mixing it dry, mixing the wet, getting the batter together, going from pan to pan, the fondant, the icing, the toppings, the detail, the whole shebang.
I'm getting hungry right now. I'm pretty sure by the end of this session, we're gonna have bites on that cake.
I think is he going to be bites or face imprints on it? Because I might dive into it.
So I will be the first person to go out there and admit it. I love a good British baking show.
I've seen every season.
Oh my gosh. Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Hey.
This is not rehearsed, by the way. This is me going out there.
Okay, we're bonding.
I love the British baking show. And I feel like I'm a part of an episode right now.
Woo!
It's a dream come true, you know, for all of you bakers out there.
It really is. The British baking show is a grind.
It is.
Okay?
It really
is a grind. It is nothing to be played around with, and it should be held to the highest standard in the culinary world. But this cake, though.
The details of the cake is absolutely crazy.
No, it's
Down
really
from
cool.
the CP to the airdrop. I just want to take that and really just put it in my closet just because of how well it's been made.
I like the little barbed wire touch on the second tier. And then this is what we saw today. It's in game. What?
Oh my
Literally
God.
exact replica.
That is the exact same cake, you guys. Wow. Look at that. And the cake is in game. So unfortunately, if you guys can be here with us in the studio, make sure you head in game and you get a chance to check it out. And even, get some extra goodies in there as well.
That was absolutely crazy. When you actually shoot the cake down, there was loot inside. So best believe when we try to break that down later,
You think there's loot?
I think there's some loot in there.
That's
I don't know.
That's meta right there.
Maybe. But folks, thank you for joining us as we just wrapped up round number 1, and what a round it was. We learned so much. We saw Bertha get kills. We figured out who let the dogs out. We saw fishing, and we saw Camille's and Tectonic fuse into a chopper gunner, got positioning on the whole map, and absolutely dominated the lobby. Big shout outs to them because, you know, I know Camille's, and, you know, this man has been a professional at third-person shooters since I've known him years ago. And we saw him and Tectonic really dance on this whole lobby.
Look, this is literally night and day from what we saw yesterday. We're seeing slide channels come out. We're seeing early gunfights. We're seeing a lot more vehicle gameplay. I almost feel like these Warzone players think they're still playing Warzone. I mean, we saw none of it yesterday. I was going to be very generous to the European region, but if this was an EU versus NA lobby, EU would have gotten blown out of the water by the NA, Scott, from what we've seen so far.
No, you are absolutely right, especially in that final circle. JHC with that, that was absolutely crazy with all of the vehicles that we've seen here. But take a look at that. Tectonic and Camille's having that 7 kills. That is so much kills, 75 points already to their name.
75 points is going to be the target number to pass. They have set the pace of the lobby, and right below them, you got Hawk's Nest and Vis and the rest of everybody else. So when it comes down to these round 1 results, is anyone standing out? Maybe a duo placing too far towards the back end of places that you wasn't expecting in round number 1, or did someone outperform?
I'm going to go with at least my initial pick, right? Because Little B and Envoy, they were in that 3-way gunfight at firing range, won the first, did not win the second. So they got to tally up 2 kills, but I don't think they got any points for placing because it was outside the top 22. And then obviously the point total that you were going to see at 75 is just not even going to come close to being matched. So teams find themselves in the bottom 5. I think at this point it's like, all right, we have to put together a very solid lobby coming up for game 2. Otherwise, it might just be out of the running.
All right, folks, this is our featured players list, the most lethal players in round number 1, the first lobby, which we kicked off in. You see Tectonic's placement. He got 5 kills. He got first. Coming up next is going to be Noah with 5 kills. They placed on 5th. And then you're going to also have Resume.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to have 3 kills and be in 3rd place. So those were our top damage dealers.
Definitely. And what I said a while ago, Noah versus Tectonic, Tectonic just had everything within his belt. So a lot of things into consideration here. There's still a lot of moments for all of these duos to really pick up. It's only the first game. So as hot as the first game was, there's still a lot of chance for both of these teams to really go and pull through.
Yeah, it is still a lot of chances for them. And we're about to head into round number 2 soon. But, you know, one of my favorite moments in that first map is that we saw so much vehicle gameplay throughout the entirety of it. And, you know, JC had his rider, Razor, on the passenger side. And we watched them run over multiple people, just drive by across the entire lobby. And, they came out with a top 3 finish. But you guys expecting some more vehicle gameplay coming in round number 2?
With how much open space there is, you have to feel like that is actually a safety blanket for you in the late game. Because, hey, you can use it as kill potential, but you're avoiding fights as well if you feel like you need to. So you're able to help kind of secure extra placements, which, again, you find yourself 5-6 kills, that placement's what's going to start to matter then at that point. Because if we're looking at 6 kills on average as the high winner per lobby, you get to 4 or 5, you'll be in a pretty solid spot, I think, just to cruise control your way to a placement when you get the position points for that.
All right, this is the bio of our winning team that just came out on top. And as you can see, you know, when it comes down to hobbies, Tectonic, a really good chess player.
He is a good chess player.
On the flip end, Camille's, I know he is a big basketball fan. Pretty sure he is a New York Knicks fan out there. Oh, man, the Knicks. Okay, well, I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Bulls fan, but we won't even go into the New York Knicks right there. All right, folks, we're about to be heading into round number 2 soon. And one thing in which we talked about early on is just blackout, the map, the open space, being able to force those gunfights. I'm pretty sure vehicles are going to play a good part. Just getting into positioning. Positioning is going to be key. We saw how Camille's and Tectonic used the chopper to get some kills, but also get that high ground across the map. Can they do it again? We're about to find out. Round number 2 is underway. So, casters, take us off.
And, you know, one of the things that we talked about a lot yesterday was what does the plane line look like? The first lobby, it wasn't giving you as many options as the second line is. So there may have been some teams that may have felt a little bit forced to go places like Firing Range or Rivertown because it was a gut check call. I'll be really curious to see how many of those 3 teams that landed at both Firing Range and part of Rivertown will continue to do so after what that early game looked like for map 1.
I'm taking note about all of the squads that actually went inside Firing Range, if they're going to be doing the same thing for every single one of these matches, just because of how well they fared there. But you know what? Construction sites is definitely going to be another spot that you can actually go and drop in. Hopefully you get to see that just because there's a chopper right there. Not only that, you get to see a lot of good loot as well. Hydro Dam on the other side, going to be a little bit difficult just because you know you can be kind of squished into the middle of that little waterway right there. But you know what? That's not going to matter. You can see here one team going inside Firing Range. Team 9, Noah from YouTube as per usual.
Yeah, I think they definitely kind of were king of the hill after the first set of fights happened. Also, only one squad landing at Rivertown. In the bottom right, we're taking a look at what the drop priority will be for our recent winners as we have Tectonic and Camille's. And actually, hold on a second. Noah's team was contested off the drop, so it may have been another team listed in red because Noah has already dropped. That's Gemini, who's a part of that conversation. So, again, early battles happening right through the middle of the map.
Right in the middle of the map, that's not what you really want to get, but Hawk's Nest already having that 2-piece, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that right now. Agabu, on the other hand, Aerith, a really big name for all the female content creators, trying to make a name for herself, not only just because she's a female, but she's going to be an absolutely crazy multiplayer. But you know what? Battle Royale is going to be a different game. You saw her struggle a little bit a while ago. They were cornered from the outside. So having that third-person perspective is definitely going to be a little bit different. But if you really get to work it out well, checking corners is something that you can really use that for.
Well, Philly will bail away. It does look like there was one trade onto Team 7, which was Gemini and Bo, over towards Asylum. This is where Hawk's Nest and Vis not only currently find themselves, but they were here for a while last game as well. Team outside is 22. That's JHC and Ray. They were the main kind of culprits of our vehicle shenanigans from last game. They're currently sitting inside the hedge maze, so not a lot of loot out there, but you're still in a position to stay concealed from the buildings themselves, which could be really important when it comes to them just staying alive.
Speaking of staying alive and doing really great, Jokesta, on the other hand, they've been doing a really great job here so far. A little bit slow in the gameplay over here, but it's a good thing that they're just going in there for the pickup. The fact that you need to get that level 2 backpack and level 3 backpack is going to be absolutely essential here, especially going to the late game. So they have a pretty good mod set right now, but you see here it's all not that great, only one legendary, so you'd need to pick up either those epics or legendaries just to get those extra abilities that you really want to have.
I'm pretty sure this was the only team to land in Rivertown, though, so they'll have a lot of opportunity to just loot up casually and then get yourself into a position throughout the second and third zones to actually start contributing in the kill feed, which we saw Jokesta do that almost essentially word for word in lobby number 1. The mid game was very, very good for them when it came to finding kills. So hoping to replicate that, but you see the zone is starting to shrink as we say it. They do have a little bit to go here as well. Looks like it's going to pull towards the northwest, which may give us one of our first looks at construction site, pending, of course, it moves that far.
Now, the cross into the bridge, that is going to be a little bit tricky, especially since there's one more duo right beside them. That's going to be Kyle and Yanni right in that orange. You see that little dot right beside them, so they need to be a little bit careful and not be a little bit more... Oh, sorry, that's... Apologies for that, but you know what? Yes, that's going to be his teammate. With how tiny the map is, we get to really just count what we actually get to see on the screen. But let's take a look right now what's going to happen northwest on the screen. The map construction site. Now, that is going to be really good loot. Only one duo is actually going to be there, Sun and Bunny Fu. We haven't really seen Bunny and Sun so far in this competition, but the fact that they're going to be right there, smack dab in the middle, right beside the chip terminal upgrade, they're going to have a really great time.
Next hotspot's just by density of where the map currently is. You're looking at firing range again. All these teams from the bottom right of the map are going to have to go through that direction, but also train station on the top right. Handful of teams that are making their way kind of from the Asylum area, which we currently go back on board with Hawks and Vis, who will have to be part of that rotation at some point in time. Sooner rather than later would be great, as the zone is starting to move. I mean, again, they'll have time. This zone's not going to hurt too much. So if they want to try to reap some rewards of maybe stopping off at a couple other villages to get themselves fully kitted up, that would be okay. But you have to feel like with that circle, train station is going to be a very hot button issue. And then for the teams that are rotating early, we haven't seen much of Estates. That's also dead center part of this next upcoming zone. So that could also be part of the conversation, too, when it comes to looking at one of the more familiar places in Raid.
So here we go, Philly and Noah. It's a good thing that the pickup did happen and Noah's back from the dead and now going into that early rotation into the center. But it looks like they want to go into train station as well. That is not going to be easy. One duo is going to be there trying to greet them with all the gunfire. So they're just playing for positioning right now, knowing very well if they stay in firing range, they might lose all the gunfights like what happened a while ago. So they get off here with a little slap on the wrist. But speaking of, it's going to be Sun. This is what we were talking about a while ago. Sun. That is going to be absolutely crazy gameplay here, especially his teammates going to be going down.
Yeah, it's just Sun by themselves. B-Nate's pretty easy shots to come through. Take Sun down to critical HP. Noobs was kind of playing Overwatch just behind him. And so Sun will get at least some sort of a regen, but this fight for the loadout drop obviously has been won by B-Nates and Noobs. So huge advantage for them as we go through the rest of this map. And you have to feel like at this point, why not try to chase down this last red dot, get the kill. Sun holding the corner, B-Nates comes around, not quite able to snap though. Sun punishes immediately, gets the knock plus the elimination, and a chance to turn it into a 1v1.
B-Nates with a scout was going to be good, but unfortunately for him, didn't really win all of those gunfights. And finally, Sun, there you go, JHC though, getting little B. Bobby BS goes down as well. Resume doing a really great job, and Ban getting already 3 for his name. Not only that, the chip upgrade as well. You need to wait 10 seconds for this one. If you are new in Battle Royale here in this particular map in Blackout, you need to wait 10 seconds for it to activate. So that is a lot of time for other duos to go in here. See, speaking of, that is the kind of trade-off that you actually need to go in here for the defense.
It looks like Shamu is going to be by themselves, so Lucky's just going to let this, I'm sure, just go away. One of the Baka Bros. Decent, solid performance coming off of the last 3v3 tournament they played in. Really fun one that I got a chance to cover, and Shamu was clutch. Lucky was huge in the last couple of lobbies for them to win that event. but that's going to have to be luck and a half here going into the COD Mobile space with so many content creators and, of course, other notable Warzone figures as well. Isaac being one of them finds Nat around the back corner. No problem there for a quick kill. Over the top, there's Tectonic and Camille's. More helicopter runs for them, but they're out of there no problem. And Isaac and co will just have to wait to see what is the next fight, and they may have just been given it to them as Ducky takes some shots from the low ground right into that duo.
Isaac has been absolutely crazy. D Hitman also, but I feel like from the last game, D Hitman had a little bit of a hard time, but for now, I'm not quite sure how well he's been doing, but Isaac, on the other hand, has been absolutely crazy. Take a look at what we have right now, still at the top, right? Exactly. Tectonic and Camille's with that 75 total points. Ben and Joe Woe having 57, no from YouTube having 55. Jokesta, that is going to be really impressive as well. Galadon really having his duo, really having that rhythm that they've been, getting so far in this competition.
Well, the 4 kills in this round, in particular for Bandit Joe, was the best that we've been able to tally, at least as of yet. Of course, still a lot of room to go with. We've only lost 20 players, so still 30 more in full to get through, 16 total teams. And it looks like this zone will kind of draw a little bit towards the center of the map. So Estates may not be part of this next upcoming circle, at least as we continue to make this smaller and smaller. But a little bit of a Mexican standoff here. We've got 3 teams involved. Hitman up top. You've also got Team 5 here at Spand and Jowo. Teams behind them, though, as well. So, again, right outside of train station, there's a lot of teams trying to rotate from this POI, and it could lead to a multi-team fight very quickly.
Ducky and Carbon Finn are going to be at a great position just because they have that shelter into that compound over here. Isaac, on the other hand, they need to really try to push. They do have the upper hand too as well. They have that height advantage. So Band needs to be a little bit careful along with Jowo. Just one little misstep for both of these teams can mean the end of it. There we go. We see Band getting a lot of these kills. Gets rid of Philly, and Noah is going to be the only person left for his duo.
And that's right down over through this building center. So you see Isaac, and maybe even hearing those shots, taking a look down that way just to see what exactly he may be able to clean up from that safe distance. But for now, looks like there will not be too much point of conflict, although there will be teams that need to rotate, and now Isaac's going to get his chance. Takes a couple of shots at Duck, but not going to be able to do too much with it outside of tag up some armor. So no problems there, but the zone is starting to creep on in, and the power position still being held by Team 11. Back over this way, though. Band is on the opposite corner from his teammate Joe, trying to get there. There's another team that's in this building. It's Noah on the corner.
Noah already doing a fight. 1v1 situation, but take a look at the back end. It's going to be Team 19 yet again from up top. Ducky and also Carbon Finn going down the hill. And not only that, just because you see the zone is actually going to be closing in on them, so they can actually do a third party, get rid of both of these guys, and just go out. There you go. It's going to be
so
the defender. Good. Really doing a great job. Band, really great knowledge of the map and all of his skills. And not only that, he's going to be able to get that heal up too.
Speaking of, look over towards the kill feed once more. Sun finds another 1v2, taking down Iceman Isaac's squad. So Ducky, Carbon making their way into the circle. They're kind of taking a path that would allow them to avoid Team 5, which, again, continues to be Bandit Joe. Well, the team names, as I mentioned from before, or team numbers, rather, they will stay the same every single round. So definitely make sure you keep an eye on your favorite squad. Over towards the 8-pack. Triz, last one alive. No Rat already taken down. Smokes will embellish most of this area in the front lawns. Team 18 right behind him is Path and Corey. So that's the team that he's trying to avoid. And it looks like Triz largely has been able to avoid any gunfights.
It's a good thing he's backing away from the situation. That is one gunfight that you don't want to ensue. It's a good thing he also has the ghillie suit in his favor, just crawling, not giving away any of his footsteps. So Path and Corey, they've been doing a really good job here getting that one kill. So they're just going to be looting up right now, really just guarding the dog tags, not allowing Triz to retrieve it. So that is one great strategy that they have here so far. So they need to just keep that up.
Does look like this next zone coming in for the third is going to take them pretty much out of the picture of the construction site and the surrounding areas of construction. So maybe it will push us over and closer towards raid. We didn't get to see it at all yesterday. But we go back on board with Tectonic and Camille's as if they're giving us the 6 o'clock traffic report. Not really a lot of action for them. No total kills for the squad, but they're happy to keep playing for positioning and play for the late game eliminations. I don't know. We didn't see this at all from yesterday, but this could be a strategy that works out. Back over the Little B, able to finish off both Band and Joe on rotation. More teams nearby. Again, Team 19 keeps being in the ballpark of these fights, but Ducky and Carbon have avoided them almost every single time thus far.
And that could be a little bit of a bad thing going into the
agree.
final circle, because if you're not engaging, you're not getting points as well. And yes, you're getting placement points, but you need to engage. Being a little bit too passive won't win you $30,000. So with that in mind, they need to go into the aggression just a little bit, kind of get what Tectonic was at a while ago in that late game. So Sun having 4 kills already to their name, spots Little B at the distance, and one more pickup needs to go through.
And Bunners is alive back once again. Ducky and Carbon happy to hold their positions. They have played the late rotate game every single time. The good news this time is that they're still kind of on the slow side of the circle. So in the next 13 seconds, this third round will come to a close. And both of these teams, you have to feel like we'll see one another. Ducky's still playing patient, though. Just kind of holding a corner. Again, third-party perspective will be allowed for all of our players. It's actually the only way they can play. And so that will give them an opportunity to kind of scout things out. And the patience, well, it is a virtue for a reason, but skateboarding away is Sun, so able to actually avoid that gunfight. But Bunners is left by themselves. Ducky's going to get a really good look at this, wants to just decide which weapon to use. And honestly, that smoke didn't really go all that well, so it gives Bunners a chance, but not quite able to fire back. Sun from the opposite corner. Good spam shots, keeps Ducky low, and now him and Carbon are the ones that have to rotate.
That smoke was such a bad call, really just blinding themselves already, and Sun's going to be able to utilize the scrambling all. And while they go and push into the zone, because they waited just that long, playing a little bit too passively, they pay the price, and Ducky gets rid of himself. So many misplays from that few seconds of what we just saw.
But Sun doesn't get credit for that kill, I don't believe. He's still at 4. There's 5. So now you finish off the down, able to get the 5th elimination. This should be the 6th, but shots going a bit awry. Still plenty of opportunity, though, to finish this off. That one he misses, though. So a missed opportunity for Sun, although once again, give them credit for the 1v2 for the 3rd time this lobby.
At least they don't have to worry about one duo. They were able to gatekeep them. And that is the price that you pay, ladies and gents, for playing a little bit too passively and not engaging and really just pushing in there. If you want to play passive, just make sure that you're doing that for positioning. They weren't able to do that. And now they pay the price. They're out of the game. 10 squads, 10 duos left here, 19 guys. Guys and gals, they've been doing such a good job here. Different plays that we've seen from yesterday.
Novato J-Love, the next subject of rotation, having to give up the high ground to go down low. Hawks Nest and Vis is the duo that's right below them. And this is the 2nd time now that we've seen Hawks Nest and Vis just play very passively, get themselves closer and closer to the top 5, and then fight only if we have to. So it's a strategy we saw very little of yesterday, at least when it came to bringing overwhelming success. So that's something to kind of keep a tally on. But it looks like for now, Novato has not been able to punish, as Hawks Nest and Vis have already made it into the next zone.
That's a good thing that even though they still need to push, they can actually go and gatekeep any team that can go in their way. Having that high ground, going to be a little bit careful going around the circle, trying to see if they can actually go and get rid of Hawks Nest right around that corner. They spot him, and there you go. That's going to be 1 shot, 2 shots. Breaks the armor, doesn't quite do the damage that they wanted, but the information is going to be there. Not only that, it's going to be that airdrop as well that gives them a bunch of that armor.
Right on the outside of this fight, look in the right-hand side. You've got Envoy on the rotate in with Little B. Those shots will, of course, mean Team 4 and Team 23 are mostly only focused on one another. But now Novato will recognize the imminent threat of a 3rd team coming on in. Little B throwing shots out, actually tags up Novato well across the top of a Heady, which is being used as now this only bit of deployable cover out of what was the loadout drop from before. The only question here is, do Little B and Envoy know where Hawks Nest and Vis are? Because Envoy's making a play to run right into maybe the both of them. Ooh, this is not looking necessarily all that great. Tectonic able to find one. This is actually avoiding most of what's happening on screen here. Envoy on the way forward, but Little B comes in, finds it down, plus the instant elim. There's still potential of the 3rd party, but for now, our Team 15's running havoc over through the middle of the map. Hawks Nest and Vis now down and out, but Envoy was dropped in the process, leaving Little B left in his lone sub, but he's going to have to find a 1v2.
That was probably the best thing to happen to Novato and J-Love as well. Team 23 is going to be able to go and gatekeep and get a lot of that 3rd-party action right here. They were able to utilize those 2 teams, really go at it and really just get a lot of those kills. Little B goes down using the MX-9. Absolutely crazy gun stacked. And it's not even heavily modded as well. So that is going to be great for them. Really great start. The fact that they just played a little bit passively, waited for those 2 teams to really just meet up.
4 teams left, all of them full duos. 8 total players left in the lobby. Sun and Bunner still a part of the conversation. They're in the best technical spot as we see where the next zone is going to be. They're pretty much already in it. Galadon actually gets a really good read on Camille's and Tectonic. There goes the monkey grenade. We'll see if that will find any value. Can't imagine that it would, but definitely throwing some influence over towards Team 13's direction. And how about it? Galadon's going to say, let's try to play the opposite side of the zone. Risky rotation because you're going to have no idea what's in front of you, but they want to maybe stay away from Tectonic and co here.
Interesting. So the fact that they put that grenade over there, really releasing the K9 units, distracting Tectonic, rotating the other way. That is the best thing they can do. But Nurse is going to be going down. Tectonic, even though there's going to be a distraction with 46 HP left, is going to be getting 1 kill. One more person down, though, left for Team 23.
Sun is doing a really nice job with this grapple, by the way. I'll say that much. Gets out of dodge, was able to actually back off Tectonic for a while. But that'll be about it. You have to feel like Bunners is probably down and out here. Don't really see a world where Bunners gets back up to finish off this lobby with their teammate. Sun trying to at least guard for now. Bunners will be finished. SKS in hand. Shots going a bit awry. Now Sun makes the weapon swap. Tries to take on the 1v2. He knocks one. He finishes the second. What did Sun have for breakfast, and can I have some tomorrow?
I bet it's going to be that cake that we have here in the studio today. 9 kills to his name. And that is just absolutely nuts. Bunners didn't really get to have that, but it doesn't really matter. He needs to go and push inside the zone little by little. It's going to be absolutely crazy. It's 2 duos left, 2v1 situation. Team 23, Nevado going against Sun. Here we go, 1v1. 2 kills for Nevado, 9 for Sun. Who's going to be able to go in there with the kill?
Sun's trying to bait out a 1v1 engagement. He might get one. Nevado's going to get tagged up. Now turning the attention. Sliding back to J-Love. The deployable cover will come through, and that will be the end of Sun's rampage that he put on. Unreal stuff, but in the end, Nevado and J-Love overwhelmed. If only just barely, they win Lobby 2. Number 3 comes up after this.
I want to thank Call of Duty Mobile because without this game, I wouldn't be able to stream to my community and my audience. I also want to thank them for the esports scene and winning money, competing against the best players in the world. It's a lot of fun and a great time.
My favorite memory from Call of Duty Mobile, which is probably the one from recently, where we won Masters and got us a spot to Worlds.
My best memory in Call of Duty Mobile is being able to get on every day and play with players that I enjoy playing with. You know, being able to travel and, you know, hang out with my teammates, playing a tournament and qualifying for the World Championship. I think that's just an amazing experience that you can't get anywhere else.
I want to thank Call of Duty Mobile for giving me one of the best feelings I ever had, and that was winning a BR, an intense BR, last circle, 2v2. It gave me literally a rush, and that's something I haven't felt in a while from these mobile games.
Getting to play with Gemini, he's a YouTube streamer, he's really cool, taught me the ropes, and when I was playing with him, we actually got sniped by his friend Yanrique. So when we were playing, they killed us, and they were screaming his name. It was hilarious.
My favorite moment from the last 2 years on Call of Duty Mobile was when they released the new zombie mode.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Happy 2nd anniversary.
Happy 2nd anniversary.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Happy second
anniversary.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale Invitational. As we just wrapped up round number 2, and you know, I want to thank Call of Duty Mobile for bringing us all together and bringing Call of Duty fans together on a global scale, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The COD community, like we say.
COD
Yeah,
community.
it's a term that we really like to say. So for me, my most favorite memory, I'm going to make it a little bit personal. Last year in my country, there was a team there and they qualified. And it's something that's really big because from where I am, you don't make it to the main stage. You don't make it internationally. So that's a really big deal. At the fact that this game can really bring communities together.
For me, I love a good Maven hype call. Even beyond that, I love a good Maven confusion call, which was that firing range team listened from Worlds last year.
Yeah.
That chaos and absolute hectic warfare that we saw from start to finish, I think is probably one of my all-time favorites. I mean, it's just so iconic just listening to Maven go, what did I just listen to?
Hey, that's what we love
Crazy
Maven
guy.
for, right? We love him for all those calls. And now when it comes down to us breaking down round number 2, whew, it's a lot to dissect in because we saw our round 1 winners, Camille's and Tectonic, make it to the late game to lose a 1v2 and a one that they should not have lost. But why did they lose it? Because Sun was absolutely
Unreal.
shining on the map with the grapple, the SKS, the submachine gun. This is the 1v2 we were talking about. Look at him. He is about to style on him. Why did he go to the right of the tree, Shift?
I don't know, man. That cannot happen. I mean, the SKS shots looked like they're going to be pretty errant, and that may have just cost Sun their life, but no, not the case. And then here, 1v2 at the end. You almost thought that Sun would do it again if it wasn't for that deployable cover at the end, given that small little status concussion. Maybe things would have been different, but in the end of it, hey, not bad overall. Second place finish with 9 kills. They actually tallied the most amount of points in the lobby, even though they didn't finish first.
Yeah, they did tally them, but you know, at the end of the day, Novato, J-Love, let's give them a lot of love and credit because they are your round 2 victors. And with that being said, what are our overall results so far throughout rounds 1 and 2? Well, we're about to find out. You're going to still have Tectonic and Camille's at the top of the leaderboard with 10 kills and 115-point shift.
Man, we are in a tight one here early. I mean, Tectonic Camille's, we obviously gave them credit for winning the first lobby. They did tally a handful of eliminations, Aliana in the second. But look how important the kills are at for our top 4 teams. 10 kills, 9, 9, and 11. And wouldn't you know it, all of those squads within 40 points of one another.
That is just absolutely crazy. And this is what we keep saying. You need to be leveled. You need to be balanced. And even though that Tectonic wasn't in that top spot, they had enough kills. They had 45 in round number 2, just enough for them to still keep that number 1 spot. But slowly just climbing up, Sun with those 9 kills. they had more points than the top one team.
Yeah, and that's wild, right? Off of just the kills there, you know? And he did a lot of it on his own because Bunny Fufu, he dropped a little bit early on in that lobby, and we just really saw that Sun montage across the board. Now, let's take a look at our most lethal players of round number 2. Novato plays first with the 3 kills. There you go, Sun in second with the 9 kills. And you're going to have Little B, who plays 5th with 4th. No surprise to see these 3 players at the top of the feed. But the big question is that can they stay consistent? Can they keep performing heading into round number 3? Because we are blazing through the tournament, folks. We're about to kick it off without no further ado. Casters, let's get it.
Yeah, I'm interested because we're seeing now in the first 2 lobbies a couple of squads that either finished in 5th or just outside the top 5 that actually were in our top 3 total killers. So placement points, again, I keep going back to the conversation. How many kills versus what placement points do you need to secure yourself a win today? That's a part of the conversation. I haven't determined how important it's going to be, but it is something that we can at least find as a trend.
And we saw it from Sun a while ago. You don't have to be number 1. You need to have that balance of either being the top 1 to top 5 spots, but to frag out as much as 9 kills. That will give you more points. The fact that they had more points than that top 1 squad.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams, like we saw a while ago, I think it was, Team 19, they were too passive. They were supposed to engage where they had the advantage of getting a lot of kills, but didn't do so, got eliminated in the process, and they didn't even position high enough.
Holy Asylum drop, Batman. We've got 3, maybe 4 squads that are going to contest Asylum off the get-go, and 3 teams landing at Houseboat? That's a part of the map that I don't think I've ever seen. I'm kidding, I have. But I would never drop there. So we're going to have some really interesting interactions. This has been the stapled spot for Hawks Nest and Vis, but they've gone uncontested largely every single round. That will not be the case coming into this 3rd game.
3 teams already in here. That's interesting because Houseboat doesn't usually have the best loot that you have.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing, though. We see here Squad 7, Gemini, and Bob Bao just going into the very edges of it. If they knew better, they should probably push towards the other side of the river just because they're not going to get anything from that particular round.
Look, and here's the other thing. This is our team that just won the last lobby. And, you know, again, by points, they didn't win the lobby, if you want to call it that, but they still generated a lot of their current score off that second lobby. They may not have the opportunity to go back-to-back here, though, pending how these interactions start to occur outside of this Houseboat River Village. So, man, it's going to be interesting, but it does at least look like Novato and J-Love are very aware off of their drop that, yeah, we're contested, so let's just take things slow. No need to rush.
Godsley and Genos, they've been having a very hard time racking up the points, always just being in the middle of the map. Love TV, though. They have a really good spot here, so they should just ride off the win that they got a while ago in this particular matchup. But being in Houseboat, not quite sure if that's going to be the case, but here we go. Godsley, the BR bot, spots him, knows the footsteps, knows where to look.
I don't know if Godsley knows how imminent this threat is. He's now going to be able to be aware of this. Geno's a part of it, but already not. Now it's just on to Godsley, and he's going to get crossed up. No chance there. A combination of the Fennec coming in with a Cordite, I believe, there for Novato. Able to find both, and that will be one of our 3 squads eliminated that dropped here on the Houseboat Island.
AKA Botsley, that's why his name is basically like that. And if you want to push in like that, especially knowing that there's going to be a duo right below you, you really should be careful. And really just going in there without any defenses, that is why you are eliminated so early on in this game. But then that's a really good start for them. A really great read from Novato and J-Love TV. And so far, so good. B-Nate, on the other hand, having a really good stack on his weapon already. The mods are going to be in there. Even though it's only green, yes, it's only going to be the very beginning of the game, so they have a bunch of ways to go.
4 teams in Asylum. Obviously, one of them being B-Nates and Noobs. The other, as it has been throughout the other lobbies we saw off the drop, this in the picture. But how about Jessie Cooks downstairs? And shout out to Jessie. We saw her grinding when we were doing our rehearsal. She was getting the reps in. So let's see what her and Resume may be able to do from this position on the first floor. does look like B-Nats and Noobs want to make a play. And that's the thing. When you're playing with somebody like Noobs, he does not like to sit still for very long. He's all about trying to get those kills early. We've seen that when he plays with Allman and Tommy consistently. And you have to feel like he's always playing for some sort of a win condition. And this time, it looks like they've established the win condition is let's actually not play here.
Great call. And it's a good thing that you mentioned that they don't really want to sit still. They want to get those early engagements, but not today. They felt and read the room. And you know what? They were like, we're not going to win here. Just Batman and Joker are going to be laying it out all here. But then Resume is going to be surveying the area. Not quite sure if he actually knows where they are, but they are going to be going out in the Batmobile, just trying to go for safety. And Asylum, only one more squad there.
The question will be, has Vis and Hawk's Nest shown anything of where they're positioned? Because with that many squads, Jesse might be making the call saying, hey, I think they left. We're good to just loot Asylum. That's not actually the case. We take a perspective over to Joe and Band. Joe in particular here, which I'm not going to lie, no bias. Joe's logo icon is one of the cleanest out of Warzone content creators. I love the look of it. Really nice stuff for this branding. Small thing.
I know. Small thing, but it's a really big thing, actually, to be honest. And having the clean logo, not only that, clean play here. He's been doing a really good job in his premiere in this particular matchup. Tectonic and Camille's, though. A really strong start from both of the rounds, and even though they didn't win a while ago in round number 2, they still had the points to really rack up for all of the points. But they are going to be outside of the zone. They need to go and push in. They only have 1 minute. Yes, that's a lot of points, but if they are going to be going in there, that is going to be definitely difficult to push into.
They have a helicopter. They'll be okay. Also, kind of going back to the earlier comment about the Asylum, it did not look like Resume and Jesse knew that Vis and Hawk's Nest were there, as Resume did fall to Hawk's Nest. Speaking of helicopters, one is smoking right in front of our duo on hand here. This is Sun that we're on board with at the moment. And looks like for now, out of this rotation that they had from construction site, things have been pretty casual for him. No kills yet, but that's fine.
It's a good thing they're just surveying the area and even applying that pressure to the helicopter, eventually just blowing things up and really taking down one person who was actually going for the operate. One thing that I'm really surprised, the fact that most of these people don't have an FHJ in hand, knowing very well that this map, vehicles are going to be used.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, we keep talking about it, but I think it's important. We saw very little of this style of gameplay from Europe yesterday. I mean, we've got duos that are putting in work comparatively to what we saw from yesterday, where it just looked like a free buffet line for Ferg and Sonho. So, you know, this result will be much more cloudy when it comes to determine who might have even favor in the slightest bit, even though we're only through 2 lobbies. And, yeah, our current leaders are up, but only by a marginal amount.
Absolutely. But speaking of a team that will probably have a very hard time firing range, a heavily contested area, we see Team 11, D-Hitman and Isaac yet again go up against Day, Nominee, and Bobby as well. But it's a good read. They went out helicopters knowing very well that it's going to be a very chaotic area. Day, Nominee is going to be right around the corner here. No presence for them whatsoever. So they're going to be okay. So they're just going to loot up, have a bunch of mods stuck into their guns, but the rotation needs to come through because they're going to be at the very edge of the circle. But another team that needs to go and push again is Band.
A little bit of tribe-on-tribe action here. Bolo right in front of Band at the moment. Zone is fine. I mean, they have 1 minute and 13 seconds, so they can pretty much choose to do whatever they so want to with this circle. And at the moment, it looks like they're trying to avoid going through this village. At least that's what it looks like based on how Band was moving. I don't know if they had a glimpse to see what exactly Bolu and Tag were doing, but it looks like they're thinking, this might not be a gunfight we want to take at the moment.
Yeah, that's a really great call from them as well. They know where they are just because they keep looking back into the particular house where Sir Taggy and Bolu are. So take a look at the points that we have over here on the left side. Tectonic and Camille's yet again with 116, but look at that number 2 spot. It's Nevado and J-Love TV with 97. Only a few points. You only have around like 20 points in between them. So that is not going to be a very comfortable spot if I were Tectonic.
The early 4 kills definitely playing a factor, and how about it? Very well, maybe more waiting, as Nevado and J-Love are the monkey in the middle right now between these 2 tribe members. But they are also the team that has the only double-story building in this part, although Band, this is the time. It very well maybe they jump into the Bertha. Nevado not able to get into it, but is able to blink right back, so stays safe, at least from the initial engagement.
I like what I'm seeing with abilities that they've been using. The time turner was used to the perfection. You can also see Scout as well, something that we really didn't get to see yesterday. They had medics, yes, they had ninjas, but that was about it. Defenders, even from time to time. But you see the quality and the differences of all of the abilities of all of these players so far. But take a look at this. Nevado spotting one player already. Bolu going to be in trouble.
Well, this is the thing. You also have Band on your left side perspective. They're trying to third party this, but are they going to get here in time is the question, because the fight is already ensuing. J-Love tagged down low. Band not able to get there in time. So now it's back to a 2v2. Bolu feeling good about himself. Wants to take the fight, but will fall. Band able to finish off the elimination. One more to find. It's Taggy, and Band absolutely knows he's got to be stuck in the zone. The big question here is, does Taggy just sacrifice his life to not give away a kill, or do you try to run into this 1v2? Because this second zone's not going to kill you, but it is chipping away at the moment where Taggy can't heal up.
It's a really good play by Taggy, and that's the only thing he can actually do. Death is going to be right around the corner, but Band is not going to allow that to happen. Really just applying that pressure ever so slowly while they back away. They still have sight of the dog Taggy. There you go, spots Taggy, gets a lot of those shots on. He's going to be in trouble, and there you go. One by one, but doesn't really quite get the takedown just yet.
Only 37 HP, though. Every tick is just soaking away 1 health point. Oh, man, there's just nowhere to go. Taggy's trying to find armor plates. It looks like he's got maybe 1 or 2 left. Also able to chew up a bit of a heal here. That's going to keep him alive. He's doing whatever he possibly can. He's running that medic class, so he can actually heal through this zone and completely reset. And in all the meantime, I mean, hey, Band is continuing to be pushed away by this circle. So Taggy has gotten a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th lease at life at the moment.
That is why he's so confident in staying. I was kind of wondering, okay, what's his class? He's a medic. Okay, that's why he can go in there, probably get the pickup of the dog tag and revive his teammate. Really great pressure just applied by Band. Having 1 kill, a very essential kill, 5 points. And even though he doesn't get that takedown, it's still very important, that 5 points. But Band needs to go in there. Worries about 1 more. Bobby squared.
Yeah. Bobbert in the house taking shots down to Joe-O. Oh, there we go. Finally get the break and also the down. So Bobby's able to showcase a little bit of joint action here. Our casting buddy able to lock down some clean shots and an opportunity here for B Squared to maybe just push out and finish. But nearby, Bolu's in the opposite house. So this is, again, a 3-way party happening just on the outside portion of the zone.
Bolu gets another chance at life. Sir Taggy was able to go in there for the revival flight, but the really bad thing about Bolu is that he's not going to have the best guns to actually go in there for the fight. It's going to be, again and again, 8 versus 6 versus 5, 5 and 6, always going along against each other, the brothers of Tribe, and just like that, it's going to be another chaotic play, and then another team is actually going to go in there, Team 13, Tectonic and Camille's.
Their helicopter got destroyed, I think, as they were trying to rotate in, so they're now all of a sudden thrown into the mix like they're para-dropped into NAM. So you've got 3 teams immediately on top of one another, but nearby is the 4th, but Bobby able to come through, find Tectonic cleanly, and I'm sure Bobby's saying pro player, by the way, but Camille's able to respond, find at least a knock for some sort of a trade, and it does allow Camille's a chance to pick up the dog tag and then just get out of here.
So this isn't as chaotic as I thought it would be, just because you see Band is going to be outside, not wanting to take that fight. Really great read from Band so far, knowing very well not to engage a fight that he won't win. 20 seconds left on the clock right now, as the zone is going to be going from the 3rd to the 4th. Camille's needs to go in there for the rival flight. It's a good thing that we get to see that, really not engaging, knowing very well there's 2 other duos right in the horizon.
In the Mexican standoff that's going to be happening between Team 6 and Team 8 in this little outskirt village, could be a very difficult one to navigate just because the zone is going to force both of those squads to move. So we'll see how that all unfolds. And at the moment, Tectonic is still floating around that village. There's no way he re-lands on his loot. Surely not.
I mean, it's Tectonic. It's very possible for a very talented player like that to really just pick up all of the places where he actually go and left off. So you see here, the zone is finally going to be closing in on them very slowly. We didn't really get to see much of an engagement as what we thought there would be. We can see there a very fly passerby by the helicopter right now. And you see here the split coming through. Team 7 is going to be in a yeah, exactly. Gemini and Bo doesn't really quite to get that information.
Oh, but he gets at the deployable cover. That's going to allow him a chance to at least fight back. If only maybe marginally. He's only got long-range weapons. This advanced scope is going to be difficult to lock in, and Gemini will run up, find the kill and the elimination, leaving now just Tectonic by himself to try to find some ground to work with, because I still think he's flying in. He's just floating above all this action at the moment.
Yeah, that's going to be very unfortunate, and that's why you need a secondary weapon that you can use for close range. Yes, the SKS is going to work out into mid-long range, but in situations like that, switch out to your secondary and just try to win that gunfight. But another team that has been a little bit quiet here so far with 0 kills is Galadon, really just applying that pressure with his K9 unit. We keep seeing on the left side of the screen that he keeps deploying that, and it's a good thing. It's how to chase away all of the enemies if you want to go and push on the other end.
Tectonic is in the shadow of Galadon and Jokesta, literally following in their footsteps, just trying to stay alive and saying, yeah, you're safe from behind. Don't worry about it. Don't look back here.
I won't stab you in the back. No, I'll stab you in the front.
Promise
knowing
I won't.
Tectonic, though, knowing Tectonic, he's going to be definitely aggressive, but not this time, just because he just dropped in. So he doesn't have a lot of weapons here so far, but here we go. D-Headman is going to be getting a lot of these shots knocked down by Bolu, getting another life. Not only that, applying that pressure to every single team that he comes across.
But Isaac does finish off Bolu, so the revive very well could be in the mix. Take a look at where our final circle will preside, just outside of Array, which is where this gunfight had just occurred. Also keep in mind that bottom right-hand side still holds Team 5 and now Team 7, which that's Gemini and Bo, who just cleaned up 1. Tectonic still happy to just play a little bit of a ring rat at the moment, staying on the outside. Little B, Envoy, and the same building complex as B-Nates and Noobs. That could be a potential interesting engagement here. And it looks like Envoy and Co are just going to say, nope, not interested. We'll get to the zone first. You guys have a fun time rotating.
Really great call from all of these teams here so far. I like what I'm seeing here. Teams not engaging, and that is a good thing. Being passive, trying to play safely into the zone, that is going to be something that's important in this particular round. And that's why we keep seeing players being brought back to life over and over. I think this is the most we've seen here so far.
Here we go, the Bobby's up top. Triz, NORAD, able to at least knock and eliminate 1. That's Bobby Poff who goes down. So now it's just down to Bobby Plays. That's not going to get confusing at all.
No, absolutely.
Envoy and Little B, opposite side. They're running over. They hear these gunshots. They're trying to take the high ground away. Triz is going to recognize this as NORAD will fall to Little B's hand. But Bobby, he'll be taken down by Envoy. Now Triz is left by his lonesome, and Little B and Envoy are not done yet. They want to try to flush out this last elimination, then gain this entire side of the zone. Envoy not ready for it, though. Does get tagged up just a touch. Also falls. Little B, where are you? How have you not helped your squad mate yet? Finally, the kill will come through, but Envoy needs a res, and the zone is right on top of him.
That is why you need to go in there for the engagements, and they chose to actually go and choose that. Got a bunch of kills, but no one from YouTube is actually going to be right around the corner, right above that hill to pick up all the pieces that were left here. Philly gonna have one more spot here. Little D is gonna be right around there. Finally gets a spot. Finally gets that kill. The smoke gonna help him, though.
Oh, great. He gets out of it, but no one... They're going to push right on into this. Little B tagged, armor broken. One more shot will do it, and there it is. 6 teams, now down to 5 as Tectonic removes Band from the picture. Isaac's just floating. He's saying, I'm looking for a top 5 placement. Thank you very much if you give it to me for free. But his helicopter will be deleted, and now he's got to float on down into the midst of what is an absolute chaotic war zone. No chance here whatsoever for Isaac to stay alive, and we're down to our final 3, all of which are duos.
Noah from YouTube having really great late gameplay plays. And with the kills that we see here, that is going to be really great. I thought they were actually out of the game just because he was out a while ago, but the pickups that we see, the heals, the revives are going to be absolutely key in this particular game. But the push needs to go in here as 19 seconds left on the clock as the 5th zone going into the 6th is going to ensue. 2 squads, 3 players left here on top of this hill.
And honestly, for Noah and Philly, a late rotate into this zone is the best play available because of this giant slope that you have. So wait for this gunfight to unfold and then see if you can force the issue. Here they come from the backside, but the cleanup is not going to be there. Jokesta finds B-Nates on the knock. Noobs does not have armor, but it does eventually get the full elimination. But here's Noah and Philly, quick to try to follow up. The res is trying to be stuck. Noah and Philly don't have an angle at this as of yet, and no grenades to play with. Noah doesn't know where they are.
Come on, go and push already. There's only a few seconds left. You're only a few meters there. You have the high ground. You have the advantage. Only the tree is going to be providing that cover. Noah needs to go and push here a little bit more aggressively using the MX9. There you go. B-Nates spots him from up top, but Noah needs to go in there and push. The defender is going to be going down, though, applying that defense.
Noah just waiting for the opportune time. Now sees the angle on the Noobs. Finds one. Lines them up and collapse. Doubles down, and that's 4 kills tallied for Noah to finish off the game. Your lobby 3 winners. Aliana's pick from the start. Noah and Philly riding up the leaderboard with a great game there. We'll tally it, look at game 4 when we come back. In case you may have missed it, we're just over halfway, but this is a look at the total prize pool that we have. $100,000 broken up, really just between the top 22 of our top 25 squads. $30,000 for first. And Blaze, you got more for us, I know.
It's so hard to believe that it's been 2 years since Call of Duty Mobile hit the gaming scene. And throughout that time, there has been so many amazing moments that we have got a chance to witness. So we thought, hey, you know what? Let's go to the players and see what were their best moments.
Just be the freedom about how I'm able to play the game. You know, I can use the weapons I want. I can literally choose some of my favorite all-time classic maps in Call of Duty Mobile. And if I just want to play that map or that mode all day long, I can do that.
The thing I like about Call of Duty Mobile right now is that all the classes have different hero abilities. Like, I think that's really cool. And I like the fact that the perks upgrade the weapons, they make them feel different, and I love just how big the map is. It's really cool. It looks huge, it feels huge, and it's fun.
My favourite thing about Call of Duty Mobile is being able to play in a ranked game mode against really good players and being able to pick my own loadouts, my own skins, and play against the best people in Europe.
It's such a really easy access. Everyone with a phone can play it. Plus, the game itself is really fast-paced. Call of Duty Mobile, I've never been bored since 2 years ago when I started.
What I like most about Call of Duty Mobile is its accessibility. Since I'm always on my phone and I have it everywhere, I can play it whenever, wherever I go.
The reason why I love Call of Duty Mobile is because it's like the best FPS game on mobile to this current day.
Man, oh man, we have been having a fantastic time here at the Poker Go Studios in Las Vegas as we have been celebrating Call of Duty Mobile for the 2-year anniversary. There's been so many awesome moments throughout the weekend, you guys, and even so far throughout the day. We just got done wrapping up round number 3 here in our Battle Royale Invitational, and we also got a new winner. And there's so many exciting moments to be able to break down in this highlight reel, Schiff.
Yeah, from start to finish. We had 4 teams drop houseboat. What?
What in the world?
Things I never thought I would ever say in my life about the Blackout map. That's just how wild things are getting. But look, we've talked about the vehicles a lot, right? We've talked about the early eliminations and kills a lot. But we're seeing a lot more use of different operators with kind of specialist abilities so far today, Allianz.
I was about to say that we have more utilities in all of the operator skills and classes than compared to yesterday. You have obviously the defender, which everyone uses. The scout, on the other hand, we see a lot of the cluster strike, and a lot of these things are really important in different situations, and that's why you need to have different types of classes here. Not only that, the other thing that I've noticed here is the decision to disengage. A lot of these times, we see a lot of revival flights here so far in this round.
Yeah, and you know, when you talk about the classes, we even heard Ducky say in the video, he loves COD Mobile because he gets to play it how he wants to play. He gets to use everything in the game, very little restrictions there, and it also creates for some exciting moments. And once the dust settled in round number 3, as you guys are gonna see, it's that guy Noah from YouTube in Philly at the top of the board, 50 points. 60 points, leading the pack there. But, you know, we saw it in our last round 2 results as well. The team in second place had more points than the team in first. And now, even though Noah and the guys, Noah and Philly, they placed first, hey, right behind them, okay? You're going to have Noobs and Co. There with 60 points as well. So you're going to have to also be finding these kills and not just trying to survive in late game because those kills are worth so much.
No,
wow.
Look, dude.
All the way down to 8th.
Look over to the other side. 93, 90, 83, all the way down to 11th. You're still in this tournament.
It is not that close.
No, not at all.
It is close,
well,
though.
It's
I was sarcastic with that.
Yeah.
It's really close.
Like, here's the thing. We just got off looking at 2 teams that secured 60 points. So you always have to look at that and then look over to who's within 60 points of first. You're all the way down into the 11th position, really. This is tight.
This is a tight race, a lot tighter than we saw in day number 1. But I will say one thing to note, even with them falling early in game number 3, Tectonic and Camille's are still at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
But they're going to have a good performance here as we head into round number 4 if they want to keep building off of that first place that they got. Now, as we get ready to head here, going into this next game, you know, Mommy, who's one team that needs to step it up here going into round number 4?
I mean, I think it's your pick, man. I mean,
hey, they're in the top 8 right now.
Top 8, but they still need to do it just a little bit more because we were hyping it. We were warming up, yeah. We are going into our 4th matchup, so there's still a lot of points that can actually happen here.
It is, and so in reference, Schiff's pick to kick this one off was Little B and Envoy, professional players in their own right in the Call of Duty Mobile scene and the CDL scene as well. But as we head into round number 4, we'll see if they can pick up the pace and get up there towards that top 5 in the leaderboard. Schiff, Mommy, let's get it.
I can't believe you guys are coming up my pick like that. Blaze's pick is in the lowest position right now. Shame on you.
I mean, you hyped it up so much. I
did hype it
you
up.
really hyped it up. But you know what? High expectations for all of these teams. But I still believe that the teams that are going to the bottom 10 can still actually go and pick up. We keep saying this matchup, NA is going to be more competitive.
Look, I'll say this much as well. I'm just going to throw it out there in the universe. Universe, feel free to pick it up and run with it if you want. Sun has gotten every single kill for their duo. And they are still, I think, in the top 5. If Sun were to find a way with Bunny Fufu to win this event, I'm going to ask Sun to sign my first baby's forehead right out of the womb, because that is unbelievable.
Bold of you to assume that you are going to have a baby.
True. I mean, okay, wow, you're really putting him on my spot twice now.
How about a car? You know what? We're firing shots over here, but we're having a great day here so far. What is the best thing here? we don't see another win from the same duo.
Yeah, no one's
That is
repeated yet,
definitely
yeah.
something very impressive for me here so far. But construction side, 2 teams already. It's going to be Godsley and Sun. But judging what we saw a while ago, Sun has been doing such a great job in the engagement. And Noah, on the other hand, doing a good job, going to be far away. But it's Godsley that he needs to pick it up.
And it'd be interesting because obviously Sun knows that there's another duo nearby, but Sun is opting to actually play this aggressively. I was going to say maybe not play all that aggressively, and then that puts you kind of on the back foot due to the fact that you don't even have all your armor plates. But this position with the grapple, we saw 0 grapple play yesterday. Sun has been magical with it. There's team number 1. Genos, how you doing down there? Would you like a couple of bolts to eat on? Yeah, maybe. Godsley, you're next one up. The 1v2s from Sun have been unbelievable thus far. And from this position, Godsley's got no idea that Sun's up top here.
And here we go. We need to see Sun actually going for the infiltration. And there you go.
Unreal.
Godsley goes down. Genos is going to be in there just by 1 second. Flies away into safety. But it's Sun always with the aggression, bringing down all of the kills. You do not want Sun to be right behind you.
Unbelievable play from Sun. That's the one thing that I think, you go back to the people that were avid Blackout fans. They loved the mobility that you had with the grapple. Obviously, it's making its way here into the mobile version of the game, and Sun is reaping the rewards of using it very, very wisely. And then eventually, we'll get that kill onto Godsley. Did Godsley fall to his death?
I think Godsley just... No, he wasn't revived, that's why. So his
Well,
health
that's the full
was just
duo
depleting.
gone, isn't it?
No, I think there was one more person. Yeah, it's
Oh.
one more going down
Oh,
there.
there he is. I
Yeah,
was gonna
right
say,
at the
I didn't
very edge. Not even going in there for the health and for the assist. But again, a really great start from Sun. And the reason why the grappling hook is just so good for him right now is because they're at construction site. That's probably one of the best spots to use that. You don't see that a lot here because it's going to be very open, and you don't really get to use that in the late game, especially if it's going to be a very open site.
Take a look on with Jessie. Like we mentioned when we were going through our rehearsal day, we got a chance to see that, hey, she was grinding out this game with, I believe, Resume. So, I mean, they're getting the synergy, the chem together, but they're going to need a very solid placement and a lot of kills tallied because right at the moment, I believe they are still outside, sitting in the bottom 10 at the moment, which is obviously not at all where you want to be. Over to Moralto and Lucky. Just inside of Rivertown here. Looks like they understand that there very well could be a threat nearby. Hard to really read it at the moment. K9 unit might give us a little bit of information saying, yeah, there definitely is some threat nearby, so we'll see how this fight unfolds.
Yeah, there was a threat, but I think the threat is going to be driving by into the bridge of Rivertown. And I'm not quite sure if they're going to stay because we don't see it go all the way. So they probably stopped there, went down the vehicle, and tried to see where the gunfire actually go and ensued. So Moralto, a big name into the MP scene, a really talented sniper, and hopefully he gets to pick one up here.
Trying to listen in, doesn't really sound like there's a lot of sense of urgency here.
100%.
But, oh well, back into Rivertown, say let's not wait too long. Let's just make sure we're reaping the reward of being in such a high loot area, get ourselves set up for hopefully what could be a very great game for them, which they also very well may need. That's the thing. We've got 11 teams that were within 60 points of one another. Anything can happen. So on to the POV of Sun. I think that, well, whatever his stream package is, it's probably seen maybe better days, but hey, it's working out for him so far. Just the 1 kill, but that's, I think, like 12 or 13 in total that he's been able to provide. I mean, he's been the biggest demon so far throughout our first 3 lobbies.
Absolutely, and they're going to keep a hold of construction site, especially with the ninja in hand. Especially if the last circle is going to be there, definitely we know how much of an advantage they are going to have. So it's going to be Envoy and Little B yet again struggling to have that round 3 win. So they need to pick up the pace, but it's going to be very interesting how they can actually go and respond. But we're taking a look at Noah from YouTube and Philly. Oh, but they are being engaged right now. K9 unit goes down, but they don't know where it's coming from.
Interesting position to be in here. You've got the ability to watch over one of the bridges that Rivertown would be able to use to get across, but you also have a lot of different barns, corn stalks, things like that are definitely going to be part of the conversation if they have to rotate, and I say if very selectively because at the moment they look pretty comfortable. So it's just down to playing this position. And this is the other thing to keep in mind. The team that finished in 7th or 8th last game tallied 6 or 7 kills, and they were only, I mean, the top score was 60. They pulled 50. So, I mean, we talk about the value that eliminations come in. They're huge, and that could be maybe the difference maker for this entire tournament today.
Yeah, they've been making really good plays here so far. Not really having and dropping the ball. They had that 1 win from that last round. Yes, that is going to be very important. and the fact that they also have a bunch of kills, placing high enough to really get those points and racking up and just getting into that second position. So they're getting into Big Bertha. They want to go and push in. They also have all the chip terminals down already, going in for that airdrop as well. But then Yannick going down AK-47 already.
Kyle's trying to get away. The zone is also going to force another team in. That's Band and Jowo that are coming in for maybe a third party, and Kyle's not dying. He's able to stay alive through a number of the reloads. He's still up, in fact, and he finds Gemini. What has happened here? Kyle playing the finesse game. Here come Band and Jowo, and they might find 2, if not 3 free kills. Band gets the first. I don't think Bo has recognized that. Wait a second. There's another team here, and he will also fall. So, weird engagement going out by Diner. But it really is tallied up nicely for Band and Jowo, who are still fighting for a top 5 spot.
It was Botbo's fault for not engaging. I don't know why there was reluctance. The guy had half a second to go in there, but Bunner's getting a really big kill using the vehicle to their advantage. But let's take a look at what's happened over here. It was Botbow's call to actually go and kill Kyle while he had half a second to go up that window. You're vulnerable when you're going inside that building like that, but instead they still went around the corner.
Jesse or Resume? Still alive in between this, or is this them floating in?
I think it's could be floating, could be a glitch. It happens.
Yeah, I was about to say,
sometimes.
I didn't see Team 21 as a part of that initially, and I thought I was just, my old age was showing itself. But no, I think Sanity is good for now.
For now, Moralto as well, having 0 kills. They've been having a very so-so game here so far, and being the poltergeist that they are, you're still visible somehow. I feel like a poltergeist is not really small glimmer. Yeah, you still get to see the outline, so you don't really get to see this class being used a lot just because of how much you can actually still see the player. So we see here, Path and Corey going to be in the very side here. Noah gets a kill, gets rid of Resume. That's a really good start.
Lucky on the other building, Moralto sliding across. Do they know that there's another team across the way? Resume and Jesse in the kill feed, fully eliminated. Noah able to tally up both of those kills, and Moralto is going to be able to throw some concussions on in. Not able to fully connect those, so Lucky and Moralto will just be waiting for now. And again, the circle is fine. They could stay here. There's no reason for them to move if they don't want to. And it looks like actually with the gas grenade and the other utility being tossed, Corey and Path are going to back away, play a different building. They're going to go over to ammo instead.
The cluster and Nova, that was a little bit of waste there, not knowing where they were, and they were able to go and reposition themselves. Path and Corey just trying to chase away into safety. Rivertown yet again is going to be another point. We get to see another squad here, and I think that was the team that we were waiting for a while ago, so it's a good thing that they just stayed put. But at this point, it is going to be a very tricky spot, especially if the zone is going to be closing in on you. 0 already. Second going into the third. Path having a really nice sight line here, going up on top, and that's one you need to get. There goes Shamu's going to be spotted though.
I don't think Path meant to go back down onto the roof. Sees Lucky up top, shots come through, just tags the armor for now. Shamu stays alive, re-armors up. Moralto still holding the position to his left, but is getting tagged up from, I believe, that should be his teammate. I'm pretty positive right there that would be Corey who's starting to throw in some shots. So now at least the threat has been established in both these two teams, and it comes down to what happens next as they both try to fight rooftop to rooftop.
Moralto with the poltergeist play, really just climbing his way, not trying to allow them to see the footsteps on the map, just prone gaming over here. They know where everyone is. Moralto is going to be in a tricky spot once he actually goes up in there. Take a look at what we have on the left side though. 144 points for Band and Joe. What just happened? Just got overtaken by just 3 points.
Crazy stuff, at least for now, but these are early eliminations. Sun, with the help of Bunny now this time with the 2 kills onto Little B and Envoy, who are just below them in the standings. That gets them within spitting distance of the top 2. Not a lot of implications for the leaderboard between these 2 squads on screen, but we tally through what exactly the kills have looked like thus far. A couple of heavy hitters in lobby number 4, a very important one for a number of squads, not just the ones that we've listed, but of course the ones that are trying to get into the conversation. But Sun, 4 kills for them, Bunners 2. They've got 6 in total. Imagine a world. I might have to send Sun my firstborn child for signaturing. That very well may happen.
Yeah, I hope to see that. Picks or didn't really happen. So Sun already with 4. Then they had to go away from construction site because it wasn't going to be in their favor going into that circle. So it's a really great thing to see that they're just pushing probably into the purple hex that we see here on the map. If you guys didn't know what that was, it is going to be your loadout, your personal loadout. That's going to be definitely an advantage. They do have a car on their side just in case they need to push. Like in this matchup, it's always a big deal to have a vehicle with you.
Yeah, this is a really interesting next circle. Preposition-wise, the loadout should be free for Team 20, like we were just seeing for Sun and Bunny. There's nobody else nearby. Rivertown is now turning into a non-conflict as both teams are rotating but on different timings, so they'll be able to get there no problem. But take a look over on the left side of the map. There is loot galore for whoever wants to take the risk to jump on over.
Battery at optimal percentage.
But then you can see here, it's going to be Moralto's team that's going to try to push out away from the conversation. So not quite sure if that's the best thing to do. I think either path or either duos had the upper hand, and they're not going to get points. That's the reality of the situation. We saw it a while ago from Ducky and Carbon Finn that they didn't get a lot of these kills, played a little bit too passively, eventually not getting points and placement as well. So it's a good thing for Moralto. They are going to go into, I think they wanted to go to the purple hex. Hopefully it's going to be really worth it for them.
Into this conversation happening over towards firing range. Seems like it's a one-sided conversation as Noobs has already fallen, leaving just his teammate left to try to work through Philly and Noah. B-Nate's the subject of that conversation, but there's really not much you could do here. The zone is right up against your back, so you're in a pretty solid spot just to stay alive. The thing is you just don't want to get caught off guard and finish in 15th place, which is how many total squads we have. So you kind of have to make a choice here if you're B-Nates. Do you try to risk rotating away from this to play for placement late? Or do you want to maybe try to get this tag while Revival is still in play and then maybe threaten the ability to be overwhelmed by Noah and Philly a bit sooner?
Oh, here we go. We finally get to see the engagement right now. Moralto actually went out there to try to avoid the confrontation, but they are met again by Butters right now and Sun. Now, that's going to be very difficult because Sun has absolutely been popping off, and you can see very nice mods added to his AK-117 as well. Vertical recall, that is not going to happen for him just because he knows the spots, he knows what to do. But then they're going to be very quiet. They actually don't know where it is so far. They're just on top of one another.
Yeah, it's literally on top of one another. They're in the tunnel in the train station, so yeah, they're literally on top of each other, yeah.
They're probably seeing footsteps like, where is that coming from?
Yeah, absolutely. But for now, here's the thing that you kind of have to risk and gamble a little bit with where this circle is. There is enough position on both sides of the train tracks that you would be thinking, hey, we're in a really good spot, at least for now. The conversation that would have to happen is if the circle takes firing range out of the picture, then Sun's team is in a great spot. If it goes towards firing range, though, then Sun's team is the last team to rotate, and they're in a really bad spot. So it's really nothing you can do besides just wait and play the 50-50.
Yeah, the 50-50 spot definitely going to come into play later, but it's going to be Noah and Philly right on top, having a really great sight line for all of it. Exactly. It's crazy how there's going to be 4 teams yet again, and Noah really likes to have that spot, but take a look at this. Tectonic throwing that cluster, getting that information, knowing very well that someone is going to be right below them, throwing the shots. It's going to be Team 25. It's Jokes and Galadon already. Best believe that we can see here the takedown finally happened, even Tectonic.
Full kill will be there, but loses a teammate. Now Team 25 shots coming through. That's Jokesta and actually Galadon. So it's just Galadon, the last one left. K9 unit will come through. Tectonic makes things safe. Capital D : someone call PETA. But there is still another team that's a part of this. You've got B-Nates and Noobs, just B-Nates, I believe now, who is able to get out of firing range and is in the picture in some ways. So Tectonic still finding himself a 1v1 with Galadon. Wants to take it, but isn't 100% sure how this rotation around the barn is going. Also flying on in very quickly is, again, Ban and Joel. Third-party situation for them again.
And it's going to be very difficult because we see Galadon always using that K9 unit, but not being able to really utilize it very well. Hasn't even gotten the kill because of it. So Tectonic applying that pressure to him. See, K9 units after K9 units, and he's just hiding around the corner. When you release the dogs, you have to make sure that you also try to shoot your team, the player that's going to be right in front of you.
That, or you're just using it as an escape mechanic. If you're shooting at my dogs, you can't shoot at me, so I'll just run away, which seems to be what's happening here for Galadon.
But you don't get points.
Yeah. Unless you're confirming placement points. You can definitely tell Galadon wants to just stay alive as long as possible. We've got 10 teams left. and a circle no bigger than the state of Rhode Island. So now an opportunity to really kind of see who can actually find a way to navigate through all the chaos. Tectonic for one, more players inside the stables. That's Band who falls. It's Corey and Path who are on the opposite side of the stables for now. Tectonic throwing nades, but needs to back up and get himself fully healed. But there's no safe place to do that. That's why Blackout is so crazy. Sun and Bunner is right behind him.
I can already see what's happening. This is probably the best last circle for Sun and Bunny right now, just because, guess what? The Ninja is going to be in order. He can go up to one of those pipes into those houses, and no one can absolutely touch him.
We'll see how things unfold. The entire river side of this circle is controlled by Sun and Bunny. So they were able to rotate away from that top position that we saw them in last, obviously over towards train station just across the river. Team still on the rotation in. You've got Team 6 top left. That's Bolu and Taggy. Team 11 from the top right. That's going to be Hitman and Iceman Isaac as a full duo. And then Corey and Path find themselves right in the middle of all of it. And they may have gotten a read on Iceman and Isaac because they're making their play over this way. But Corey, he hasn't seen it on the backside of the silos. So Hitman and Iceman Isaac will know that there's definitely a threat. Barricade goes down.
Oh, there you go.
Player trying to move on in, and that will be a knock. Path will fall. Corey trying to get the 1v2, but he's not able to quite navigate it well. Team 20 quickly trying to rotate for a third party. Sun and Bunny try to get into the conversation.
That was so unfortunate. The defender went out, went for the flash, but then wasn't able to get all of those kills. Isaac already doing such a great job, and D-Hitman goes down already. Psychosis goes down as well. Sun's going to be right behind him and was killed. That is absolutely heartless. Like the skin that was attached here in MX9, he can just ninja on top of a building, and he can just take down everyone here. Bolu, on the other hand, getting equipped already, getting a lot of these points. Really good mods for him so far. Lateral recoil is going to be absolutely great for him. That's going to be a really good start. They just need to be a little bit more quiet, as all of these teams are going to push into the late circle.
This river side of the zone has been very bountiful for Sun and Bunny. They've been able to freely rotate with that small little defilade off the slope to go towards the river. Tectonic, speaking of a little bit of a waterway, he's found himself the irrigation channel. Can use this only a little bit longer, now has to move. Sees Bolu at range, trigger discipline for now. Way up top, Sun's gotten all the way towards the high ground. And oh boy, that is not at all what you want to see if you're an opponent. Player all the way at the top level, getting just free shots in at you. Tectonic still trying to finesse, find himself some real estate. And wait a second, Taggy and Bolu didn't get into the zone in time. They were the team right behind him. Tectonic is still alive, but Sun from the top of the silo has a free look at this as soon as that smoke dissipates. Tectonic not able to fall, he's still alive. What?
There you go, the finisher. Sun was able to finally capture that, and he has enough time to go back on top of the house and really just reposition himself. It's Sun versus Sun, right? It's going to be absolutely meta.
Noobs with the pistol. Try as you will, nowhere to go. And what a game from Sun and Bunny. I think I saw 12 kills, which would be the highest kill value we've seen so far. And what a time to do it through game number 4. Sun and Bunny win. We've got one more game to go when we come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale Worlds Invitational as we are watching some of the best duos in North America battle it out. And this weekend is turning out to be one of our favorite moments in COD Mobile. But when it comes down to the moments in history, well, we definitely got a lot to talk about because there has been a bunch.
Most definitely. I've been playing this game since beta, and for me, one of the best turning points of this game, when they introduced in Season 9, when you can actually put the attachments, all of that, that changed the name of the game. I don't even remember when they actually had this before.
Look, I'm just going to go all the way back to what we're seeing on screen here. Like, the fact that we got hit with this new title that came through, new mobile game, and I think at the time, a lot of people that were playing Call of Duty kind of maybe didn't really look at mobile as a major option. But when you tell people that, hey, all your favorite maps from BO2 are in, maps from MW2 are in, Rust gets back into the picture, that'll sell any COD fan, and it definitely did.
Yeah, it definitely will, man. You know, one of my favorite moments, just kind of throughout the history, was, you know, the Masters. It was this summer when we were doing Masters for NA and EU. You know, that was, you know, one of my first broadcasts here with the COD community, as we coined it. And, you know, it was nothing but love across the board. And, you know, it was a great summer, and I'm happy to be here. But, chat, what's been your favorite moment, okay? Let us know in the chat, what have you loved so far since Call of Duty Mobile has dropped? And this weekend, I'm pretty sure next year when we're making this video, this weekend's gonna be in there. But also, let's not forget, Stage 5 is right around the corner, and that is going to be historic. It's going to be monumental. The best of the best teams in the world about to go at it. Woo-hoo! You don't want to miss out on that one. But as round 4 has wrapped up, man, what a match that was. Shift. It was crazy. The ending of it. Tectonic, I can't even believe he survived as long as he did. You also had Sun absolutely frying. And this time around, you know, look, off the start. Man. Using that grapple, picking up the double kill. He started this series with a bang.
Sun has been unbelievable this tournament. And look, I think we were all looking around the list and said, oh, you know, Sun's going to be a heavy hitter, sure, but like we didn't know what to expect out of Bunny Fufu. And up until this lobby, we saw nothing from Bunners.
Yeah.
So the fact that Bunners was able to find 4 kills on top of the total 8 that Sun reaped in this lobby, that's unreal. I mean, that's the most definitive win that we've had so far across all 4 of our lobbies until this point.
You know, I know Sun has been performing, and this is a 2v2 game mode, but if he keep outperforming like that, you have to split that prize pool 80-20, okay? Because he is single-handedly dominating the lobby. And, you know, all jokes aside, Sun and Bunny together, man, they have a winning combination, as we can see here, with 11 kills in which they picked up in round number 4, 95 points in total. The next team below them only coming away with 45. This was a really low-scoring lobby if you look at it as a whole.
That's true. I mean, it's a slower lobby compared to what we've seen here so far, but you see Tectonic. Tectonic has been absolutely crazy in that round, and yes, he didn't win, but he lasted long enough, even outlasting Bolu when they still had 2 people because they got killed out of the zone.
Look, the thing about it is, you know, from first to second, there's a 50-point gap, but as you look down and down and down, look how many teams are over 40 points here. So that's where the kills are coming into play. And specifically for Noah and Philly coming off their 3rd lobby win, getting 6 kills at 48 total points is actually not bad at all. So even though they don't finish into the top 5, they're going to be at least marginalizing the anticipated gap that both Sun and Bunny have likely just put themselves in when it comes to being who's in first.
All right, folks. You guys saw the leaderboard before we head into round number 4. You saw how close it was then? Well, look how close it is now.
That is just, I am speechless with that performance that we saw from Sun a while ago. 205 points, Tectonic. That's why you shouldn't be too careful. You shouldn't be too comfortable with your top spot. But yes, 177 points and 205, that is not far. If they do well in this last matchup, everyone else from that 2nd, even up to the 8th spot, even up to the 9th spot,
9,
can still make it into top 1. It's anyone's game.
And I'll say this, for the team that's currently in 2nd and 3rd, they both did enough to keep them in the running. You got to think Camille's was down and out early. Tectonic didn't have a chance to really play for the res. So the fact that Tectonic was still able to get to second and confirm more placement points is great efficiency. The opposite side of the coin was there for Philly and Noah.
Yeah.
The placement wasn't there, but the kills were. So that top 3 battle really is going to be interesting.
It really is going to be interesting. And when it came down to lobby number 4, these are your 3 featured players. You got Sun, Iceman, Isaac, and that guy Noah from YouTube. A lot of kills coming across the board from these three lethal slayers out there.
Absolutely. Noah has been in the featured players for so many rounds already, and Sun as well, right? So it's anyone's ball game. Anyone can actually go in there. And you know what? It really goes down into the classes that you have and how you utilize that with your surroundings.
Yeah.
Well, guys, throughout the weekend, we had 10 lobbies scheduled to be played. We are about to finally enter that 10th lobby, finishing it off with North America in this round number 5. You already saw the leaderboards. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to come out on top. This has been the most competitive Battle Royale lobby in which we've seen for Call of Duty Mobile, and I'm pretty sure this last round will not disappoint. So strap yourself in. This is going to be the last drop of our 2-year anniversary Battle Royale tournament. Casters, take us away.
I am going to be so curious to see what Sun and Bunny want to do here off the drop. The top 3 teams right now have all won one lobby. And the last thing you want to do if you find yourself in the top 3 is one bad early gunfight and you get 0 points, because whoever wins this next lobby could still surpass those top 3 squads. So I'm really curious to see where these 3 teams currently sitting in the top 3 are going to choose to land.
I feel like a bunch of these teams are just playing safe. Just because you don't want to lose too early in the gunfights. But you know what? We could be wrong. Anything can happen in Call of Duty Mobile. Team 13 going as far away as going into the estates. That is going to be Tectonic and Camille's. Now that is going to be a very safe place. No one is going to be even remotely close to them.
I mean, this has been their strategy from the get-go, though, where they are trying to largely avoid gunfights early and play for placement late. So we'll see. Again, this is going to be possibly the determining lobby, and likely you would have to feel like it probably will be the determining lobby unless Sun does something crazy in the early game, finds himself 8 early kills, and then maybe just puts the tournament out of reach. But, I mean, the gap is not large whatsoever. There is a reminder of the points per placement. Really, you're looking at that top 5, top 6. You get to 20 points, you're working, especially if you can tally up 5, 6 kills behind those placements.
I honestly thought the RNG Duds was actually really into the favor of Sun into that last matchup in round number 4, because the final circle, you were in the farm. You had a bunch of high ground that you can just stay up there. He was the only ninja class. But in the event that you are going to have that final circle where there's nothing in there, you might have a harder time. So RNG Gods were in their favor. Let's see if it's going to be here today.
Or Sun, it's just passive. This is the first time we've seen them land here. I mean, the thing is, like, it comes with risk, though. Like, if you just don't find good loot or the loadout drops don't spawn anywhere near you, you could be really hindered as far as what your actual fighting condition is late. Now, again, one of our conversation points is the other teams that are in the top 3. Noah and Philly have dominated firing range. We just saw it in the kill feed. Noah tallied up 2 more eliminations, it looks like, early. Maybe just the one, actually, as it's just the one tallied so far. So I'm not sure who exactly the duo was, but it was Godsley that looked like that fell.
Yeah, it was Botsley. Really just, he's being fed right now to the big fish that are swimming around the pond. And it's always been firing range for Noah. And you can see here, look at this circle. It very well may be
Nuketown fish.
Nuketown fish. Yep, exactly.
Over at Array, 2 squads close by. Got Tim and Sean J, Team 24. And then Team 10 is Agaboo and Nat. So they're at least somewhat close by one another. 3 teams inside of Rivertown at the moment. And wouldn't you know it, the house party that was happening on the party boats looks like that was a one-time thing.
Good thing. Leave it at that. I don't want to see that again. But
it's crazy.
Right, exactly. But we saw the RNG was on the way to the favor of Path and Corey. They're right smack dab in the middle of it into Nuketown. So that's going to be a really good thing for them. They can just chill out and get as much loot as I can as when they're going to be pushing inside. So another team that has been doing absolutely great here. banned.
Yeah.
Banned, and also Joe has been great. They know when to disengage. That is probably one of the best things, because for me, I think they're the teams that always get third-party. They're always in chaos, right? But they
For
know
real.
when to leave.
Yeah. No, I don't. Maybe it's just me, but I have been really pleased with how good our Warzone players have been.
Yes.
Going off of either controller or mouse and keyboard and then onto fingers on phones and doing incredibly well. Joe being one of them for sure, but Isaac was also just a part of our featured players. I think he tallied up 4 kills last round, and he's been consistent all day. So, you know, hats off to them, because I was talking about this jokingly during rehearsal. When I first picked up this game when it first came out, I was a 2-thumb Neanderthal. You move, and then you stop and you shoot. That was me. So the fact that these guys are hanging just goes to show the caliber of gamer they seem to be.
It doesn't really matter. I know a lot of pro players that still actually use the thumbs, and the dexterity that you need to have here, because you have a phone, you can basically have your HUD, your UID to your flavor. It doesn't matter. So even if you are having that claw method, if you're comfortable with 2 thumbs, then stick to that. So again, another thing that is going to be very great for this team. They're so passive right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The thing about it is you have to think about it. Maybe we have a chance in the later stages to kind of tally what the leaderboard is going to be looking like when kills start to get put together, because the gap may be enough for Sun and Bunners to say, hey, if we secure a top 3 position, we could be great. Because again, top 3 gives you 26. So if the gap is around, if not at around the 20-point margin, who knows? Maybe playing for the positioning here and not needing the kills could be big. We jump over very quickly to Philly's perspective, able to clean things up. That was Genos. It was Godsley's teammate that had ran away from the fight at firing range when it initially had happened.
Yeah, so this is what we didn't get to see a while ago, but in the kill feed. So again, very passive. Like, no one is going to be right beside them, but it's a good thing because the helicopter is going to be right above them. So if they need to go into the circle, they have it down. Not only that, they get the loot in every single one of these buildings where they've already been stacked up. You can see that SKS already having a legendary mod attached to it. So that's going to be very impressive into the late game.
Speaking of one of our Warzone players, here is Joe. And this looks like it's been pretty free for them so far. Casually just checking out to see what the loadout looks like, what you want to do with your storage and all that here by 8-Pack, which looks like it's, again, towards the middle of the zone at the moment. We feel like this is going to continue to push further and further west based on what we saw, but it's still early, obviously. So we'll see what happens with this next upcoming circle, because if it starts to pull towards Nuketown, then we start talking about when do you rotate. And let's be honest, I think both of us are going to sit there and say sooner rather than later would be preferred.
Yes, you need to go there early. And